Gather around, freaks. We're making eggs. First, you boil the water, then drop the eggs in the boiling water. Let them boil for about 8 minutes for the perfect tender flesh and creamy center. Be sure to detach the membrane. Don't overcrowd the pot. And remember, a 7-day-old hard-boiled egg is easier to peel than a fresh one. Have an ice bath ready as well. It helps. So gather around the police radio because it's time once again for Hey, did you see this one? Oh, what the fuck? Hello and welcome.
That's how you should start every episode from now on. What the fuck?
It was cartoony.
Thank you. That's what I was going for. Hello and welcome to Hey, Did You See This One? The weekly review reaction roundtable podcast where we just have to ask the question, hey, did you see this one? I'm, of course, your host, your first co-host, Jason Hard-Boiled, joined as always by Stephen Boba Blackfly Waters.
More like sleepy Boba Blackfly Waters. I'm tired. I'm
Sleepy
tired.
Steve. Sleepy Steve.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for making it to the show. It's still Noirvember. This week we're taking a bit of a detour from straight noir, and we're going into the hard-boiled noir territory. I think John Woo was trying to make a noir film, and then ended up making a crazy action nightmare.
So while I was watching that,
chaos.
I mean, not to cut you off. Oh, also, welcome to our other guest. I mean, our only guest.
I was about to get to that.
I know. I wanted to respond to what you're saying too much. Tatiana Ramos. Hi, again, better
I'm
than
back
ever.
again. Thank you for
Welcome
letting me choose this movie. What a delight.
It was good. How many times have you been on now? More than 5?
No, I don't think 5 yet. I think 4. I've been sick every other time. Today's my only healthy time. And I sprained my finger, so I'm not that healthy.
You have to be injured or sick to be on our show. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm glad that we gave you the list and you got to pick from the 4 because we hadn't had you on in a while. I wanted you to come back and get to pick your movie. You went over Dick Tracy, you went over Maltese Falcon, you went over Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and you were like, hard boiled, gotta be.
I chose the only one I hadn't seen yet.
Perfect.
And a good choice too. The movie Hard Boiled, directed by John Woo, which most people know John Woo for his American movies, but this is one of his earlier films, not an American movie, but very much feels like one, but in like a crazy over the top anime way. Like it is wild, like the level of action, but it is very much his branded action, even though sometimes you feel like you're watching a Paul Verhoeven movie at times.
Yeah. Or like a live action anime is what it really feels like at points. As you said, do you want to give us a brief synopsis, Steve?
I can try. This movie is very heavy. There's a lot going on in this movie, but I will try.
If Zardos is around too.
Oh yeah, Zardos, are you here? Do you have something to ask us about?
Zardos speaks to you. He demands you synopsize this film. Tell him how, why, who, what occurs in this film.
Wow. Okay, sure thing, Zardos. So yeah, this movie is about a detective, or sorry, he's an inspector, not a detective, which I don't really know what the difference is, but I assume it's just a title.
Number of murders.
Yeah. And his name's Tequila Yun, and he is a badass, but he's also sort of a fly off the handle cop. He doesn't necessarily take orders well. He's not very respectful to his commanding officer, but the movie's all the better for it. This is very much where the hard-boiled aspect of this story comes in. He is, by definition, a hard-boiled detective, where he has sort of an honor code. He plays by rules, but they are malleable to him, and he will break them if it means doing the right thing. So he does have kind of like a strong ethic to him, but he is also willing to shoot a person in the head for justice. He's like a Judge Dredd almost. But this movie is also paired with another character named Alan, who is where the noir aspect of this movie comes in. This character is very much a noir character, where he has dubious morals, and he's surrounded by seemingly evil everywhere, and nothing is good to him. Everything is gray, and morally gray and bleak. Everybody that he deals with is evil, and he himself is committing horrible crimes constantly. And he's not enjoying it, but he's not necessarily not enjoying it at times. But it does haunt him. He's sort of like a haunted figure, but he is also technically working for the police. He used to be a police officer, and he is deep undercover. And these two stories are woven intricately together throughout the plot, where a character by the name of Johnny is basically slowly trying to become the greatest crime lord in all of Hong Kong, and to varying degrees of success, but mostly successful until his plan is thwarted by Tequila and Alan, his greatest enemies. Where we discover that he's creating essentially weapons holding facilities all over the city, while also systematically disrupting and destroying all other crime families. You know, it's sort of like a mafia style story happening here. But you know, he's got gun. They're not factories, but they're like vaults basically all over the city, and that's where sort of the crescendo of this movie takes place. Is underneath a hospital in the morgue, where he has a secret vault full of rocket launchers and grenade launchers and cool one-shot pistols. It's wild. Yeah, it is a lot more complicated than that, but that's sort of what it hard boils down to. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right?
You are right.
Okay. Did I miss anything? That's kind of it, right?
That's pretty much it.
We can get into the meat and the potatoes of the story as we go through it, but that's kind of the broad strokes of what happens here.
Well, that's excellent. Yeah, and also speaking of him being called an inspector, not a detective, the police chief character is called a superintendent as well, which is interesting to me. But should we talk about our brief histories with this movie? It's going to be brief. It's going to be real brief.
A brief history.
That's right. So everybody open up a drink and sit back while we kind of break down our histories with this film. Tatiana, would you like to give us your extensive history with the movie Hard Boiled that you watched last weekend?
Definitely, yes. I first heard about this movie when you texted me the list, and I Googled it. And then I watched it for the first time on Saturday, and it was absolutely delightful. So I'm very happy that I've had this really not even a full week, 5 days to distill it in me.
Yeah, that's great. How about you, Steve?
Well, I've seen this movie a very long time ago. There was a brief stint in high school where I was obsessed with John Woo movies. And then there's a video game called Stranglehold, which is made by John Woo and also stars Chow Yun-fat once again reprising his role as Inspector Tequila Yun. It's a very fun video game from memory. I haven't played it since it first came out, which I think was like 2009, maybe? I don't know. It was a while ago. And then there was another point in time where I revisited it in university because I read the book Hard Boiled, which is like an anthology crime series, and I became obsessed with hard-boiled detective movies and books, and absorbed a lot of them, and rewatched this movie to sort of have that comparison of like, what is the interpretation of a hard-boiled story from somebody who's making movies in Hong Kong versus Western cinema. Turns out pretty similar. They're quite similar in a lot of ways. And then I watched it twice this week, mostly because the first time I watched it, I was like, I think I didn't fully absorb all of this properly. I need to watch it again with the English dub. And then I watched both versions. I like the English dub. It's not overly cartoony. You know, like sometimes you'll watch a dub, like a live action dub, and it can feel very goofy. Not too bad. I think you guys both watched the dub, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So I think you'll agree, right? It wasn't too. There are some moments where you're like, "Oof!"
There are moments.
You need to
where I
take
was
two on
like,
that line, sir. That was a little bit
Yeah.
wacky.
When he gets super British.
Yeah, he has like a
Just
weird
for no,
accent.
yeah.
But also there's times where it's clear that they're trying to match up the words to the lips, where they're trying to make it sync properly. And I'm like, listen, we all know that it's not these guys talking. It's okay if their lips don't sync up perfectly. You don't need to really force them to manipulate what you're saying.
Or move at all, like when he's singing
Yeah.
the lullaby, and it's just he's clearly not.
But I'm like, well, my point is, who gives a shit?
Who
We're
gives a
not.
shit,
We
yeah.
know that it's not them talking. Let it not match up perfectly because it's just making the performances sound weirder than the lips not moving at the right time. But yeah, I wasn't sure how I would feel about it after whatever 15 to 20 years of not having seen it, but I like it. I like it a lot. This is maybe one that I might rewatch more and more when I need like a chicken noodle action film. You know, that's kind of how I feel about it, where it's like it's easy to digest. When you're watching the action, your brain doesn't really turn off. You're actually kind of more invested in it. There's a lot of action movies that I have a really tough time paying attention to once the action kicks in. Like my brain just turns off and I'm like, I don't care about this. I want them to be having boring conversations around a table in like a smoky warehouse or whatever. But this movie is not that, because he spends so much time making every single shot like so interesting. Everything from like the character movement to the camera movement to him hucking chickens off screen to make sure there's feathers and like action happening everywhere at all times. He's like, you know, it'd be cool if he rolls across the table. And he's like, you know, it'd be cooler if he rolled across a table that was covered in flour. And then afterwards, he's covered in flour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cooler. You're right. Yeah, that's my brief history. Is I watched it twice a long time ago, and then I watched it twice this week.
Cool. Yeah, I watched it this week for the first time. I was aware of it. I was more aware of the game Stranglehold. I remember when that came out and it being like kind of a big deal for like, you know, gamers, but I don't think it really permeated the zeitgeist outside of that. And it didn't stick around. We never got a remake or a remaster. But after watching this movie, all I can think about is getting that game and playing it. I actually found it on goodoldgames.com for $13. So I might pick it up and try to give it a shot, but it is a Xbox 360 PS3 era game, so I'm not expecting too much out of it. But that
I
said,
remember liking it a lot. I mean, if you've ever played the Max Payne video games, I remember it felt a lot like that game series in a good way too. Because I mean, the gameplay in Max Payne is quite satisfying, and I remember Stranglehold feeling very similar.
yeah, it's one of those games where like you dive. The Matrix game had it too. This movie, like clearly the Wachowski siblings were influenced by this kind of cinema for the Matrix. So like, I was watching this going like, I wish the Matrix had more like down like grounded stuff that this has, like action sequences that feel like surreal, like they feel super realistic. But like, why can a person take 50 bullets before they're dead? Why are people able to defy the laws of gravity to slide down, you know, banisters or across tables?
This is a wild take, Jason. Like, I wish the Matrix was better. What the fuck are you talking about?
I wish the
More
Matrix.
baked in reality with
Yeah,
The whole
well, I
point is that
mean,
it's not. Yeah.
the scene, this movie, a lot of the sequences reminded me of the scene in the Matrix where they're in that like hotel entryway, that the shootout in the
Yeah, yeah,
entryway.
yeah.
That's what I was kind of thinking of.
Well,
And
there's
as
a
the
lot
Matrix-
of squibs in both of those.
That's true.
Especially the opening of this movie. It's like, I mean, do we want to just hop into production talk while we start?
Yeah, let's go on a production talk.
Okay.
For sure.
Beep, beep, beep.
All right. Quiet on set. Are we rolling? Okay, let's shoot this piece of shit. Sound. Speed. Action!
So, just to continue what I was saying, sometimes when I watch a movie like this where there's like clearly just a ridiculous amount of squibs, I get like in my head, I'm like, how many though? How many? And so like I try and like I go on the internet, I'm like, how many squibs are used in this scene of this movie? And I started to I fell down that rabbit hole, but I went in the wrong direction. I didn't end up getting the squib number, but I did find out other information that I wasn't looking for. Because I just assumed this was a set that they had built, right? Because usually when you're destroying things to that level or to that degree, you have to build it to be able to do that. Because you can't like go into a bank and be like, we should shoot in here. Let's destroy the entire interior of the bank. So what happened was that building was like apparently sort of like a local building of importance, like a historical building, but not necessarily protected. But like the community around it was like, it was special to them, but it wasn't.
Is this the hospital you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the
I
tea
was
shop
gonna say,
at the
I don't
beginning.
think it's the hospital.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the movie. The tea. I also
tea house.
really wanted to understand what the fuck I was seeing because I'm like, why do they all have birds?
Why did they all have birds?
Yeah, I
Why
can
was
answer
it a
that as
bird?
well.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, that entire building was going to be demolished very shortly. So John Woo was like, well, if it's going to be demolished anyway, I'm going to pay respect to it and have it immortalized on screen in my movie Hard Boiled, but I'm also going to blow the absolute shit out of it. So is that okay with everybody? And the movie is all the better for it because I think that opening sequence is
Wild.
insane. It's probably I'm not sure if it's the best action scene in the movie, but it is definitely one of the best ones. They're all good though.
They drop you in so hard.
Yeah.
Like he starts it by essentially smashing a poor bird in its cage to get 3 guns out.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is insane. The poor bird.
Like a video game when you step on a mushroom and like a coin comes out, except in this when you step on a bird, 3 guns pop out.
3 guns
And
pop
he
out.
tosses one to his buddy and he's got his 2. And then I'm like, okay, so how many people actually die in this? Because I think all the civilians.
So many people die in this movie. It's
So
crazy.
So
People die
many
in this
civilians die in this
I
movie.
know,
It's wild.
sick people that would otherwise be protected. Like, I
Yeah.
know.
Even in this opening sequence, like at least 7 or 8 old men trying to protect their birds are just getting fucking murdered.
This movie could be easily called Reckless Abandon, and nothing would change about it. It's crazy how much stuff just gets destroyed because of this man's warpath.
I mean, even Tequila kills a cop by accident in this.
By
scene.
accident.
Yeah.
That's the danger of being undercover, okay?
Yeah,
That conversation that they have at the end is far more
Incredible.
intense. It's far more intense in the actual I'm not sure, is it Cantonese? I'm not sure. But in English it's goofy. Where it's like, was that actually a cop I killed? Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
It was
100%
so
it was.
silly.
And the guy's like, damn it.
He originally yells being like, no, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. And then by
Yeah.
the end, it's just like, no, that definitely was. That
He
was
yells, "You're hallucinating."
yeah. This all happens in the span of like 2 minutes too. In the
Yeah.
previous scene, he's like, "No, definitely not. You can't dwell on this. You know, this
also
collateral
happens-
damage." But he wasn't a cop.
It
You
also
guys
happens-
have killed civilians. I don't think you should be upset
Yeah.
about killing a cop undercover.
He's killed so many people in this movie, and he's like really upset about that one moment. But it also happens during like the most incredible one-shot take that you've ever seen. That was crazy how long that was. That was like almost like Children of Men level. Like I cannot believe that they filmed for that long with that amount of precision and like gunplay and squibs going off and blood packs exploding and just people popping out at the exact right moment. Like I don't know, man.
It was so video gamey. Like
Yeah.
I think that was just so fun. It's just like going through it and being like, this feels like a sequence in a video game where by the end you're like at the end of the hall or like you close the door and you're like, okay, I've survived. I have 3 bullets left.
Yeah. I was curious. I couldn't figure out. I wanted to know how many takes it took because I'm like, did they do that on the first try? Did they probably rehearsed it like 100 times without the squibs until they had it like perfect? But I couldn't find any information on it. But we talked because there's a pretty impressive one shot in the Maltese Falcon as well. And it kind of got us having a conversation about it, but I didn't expect us to have a second one that's so impressive within the same theme, basically. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it's like maybe one of the best ones I've ever seen ever, like in all of my years of watching movies, and I can't believe that I forgot about it. It's one of those things that like I was obsessed with one shots when I was like my early 20s. It was like anytime I saw one I'd get super excited, so I'm surprised I had forgotten about this one.
It like amps up. It's just such a good tool, right? Like it amps up, I guess, the tension in it, and also just like that action feeling. You don't really get a rest. You're just like in it, which very cool.
And there's also, because when we started talking about it, we didn't really go into it too deeply, but like there's like the one in boy that everybody knows about. Maybe created a good one. There's Spike Lee Old Boy, or they tried to recreate the Old Boy Spike Lee. And then there's like the one from Daredevil. That the first season of Daredevil had that really impressive one. Again,
Steve, your sound is a little off.
Is it choppy or?
No, you just went
sounded
really
like
quiet, like underwater.
Underwater.
Sorry. Anyway,
That's
I'm just
okay.
rambling.
Now
just
I'm just
rambling
thinking about the
about
Daredevil one shot because that was incredible.
That one's
Like
good.
scenes that you want to rewatch and sit there and like go through again.
I think that the thing that makes this one so impressive is like the Daredevil one uses clever tricks, right? Like they'll smash out of the frame, and then because they'll be able to swap out for other stuntmen and stuff to accomplish it, and not like this, so the actor doesn't get like absolutely gassed fighting people. They'll be able to swap him out and things, and he's wearing a mask and stuff. So I'm not sure if that's what they did, but like I would assume it is. But this is just like it's like a 5-minute long scene where it's just. It is almost like right behind their over the shoulder third person video game kind of thing, like following them down a hallway the entire time and then into an elevator and then back out of the elevator. But that was another thing. I'm like, did they actually go in a real elevator? Because it's like they obviously must have, because they're on a different floor now. They're in a different set. It's not like they like slid a whole different set, or maybe they did. I don't know. I don't know how they did it.
There's not enough information out there about like the movie, and I did look.
Yeah. There was another really cool one of those. It was shorter. It was only like probably 10 seconds long, but like the Terminator guy, I didn't catch his name.
Mad Dog.
Look it up. His name's Mad Dog.
Right.
Oh,
I am
incredible.
obsessed with Mad Dog. I think is my favorite character of the entire movie.
Yeah,
I referred to him as Terminator through this whole thing because he's basically the Terminator.
He's also wearing the same outfit that the Terminator wears in the first Terminator movie.
He bites. He holds a bunch of grenades in his hand and he bites all the pins out. It is honestly, I was like, I think I love him.
I think I'm in love with this man.
He's having like a 1v1 with Alan towards the end of the movie, and they're running. One guy is on one side of glass and Alan's on the other, and they're running along, and the glass is like breaking because they're shooting back and forth. And it's one of those, like you said, Steve, like is the reset on anytime there's glass, they have to put in a new pane of glass to like redo it because
I assume that they probably, like I was saying before, they probably do like dozens and dozens and dozens of rehearsals where there is no glass there, just so that they can try and get it the first time. Because imagine having to do that over and over. I can't. Like I wouldn't. This is what the thing about like filmmaking is torturous, because sometimes you do like the same shot 23 times in a row and you just cannot get it the way you want it to be. But like. It's so I mean, that specific character, Mad Dog, he feels almost like a character out of like Death Stranding or something, or like a Metal Gear Solid game, where you're just like, he's so caricature-y and cartoonish, but at the same time so fucking cool, where you're like, oh my god, this guy's
and then
amazing.
At the end of the day, a good guy. He's like, I may be working
he's got a
for
code.
the Triad, but I've got a code. We didn't need to do this.
Yeah. And he also like really underlines the noir aspect of the movie, because it's like, well, that's the whole thing about noir movies, is that like there are villains, but they're also more complicated, and no villain is like a true evil mustache twirling villain, and no hero is a true hero. Everybody's kind of in this world of shit, and it's like this really fatalist outlook, which this movie does have, but then it also has the hard-boiled thing kind of hovering above it, which is what we're following primarily. But we're not, though, because we keep going back to Alan, and we know Alan is also a main character. Like the movie, at first you're like, who is this guy? Because clearly, like every time he does something, it's almost like the camera focuses on his face, and you can tell that he's really deep in thought and considering what he's just done or said. And you're like, okay, something's going on with this guy. And by the middle, you're like, okay, maybe he also keeps being like, I'll take care of it, and then not taking care of it. And you're like, oh, he's secretly a good guy, maybe. But he also did shoot that man in the head in a library in front of a bunch of people. So.
That's what I'm talking about.
Concerns about that situation. Why couldn't he bring his own gun into the library?
I don't know, because it's cool to pull a silenced pistol out of a book of Shakespeare's.
Somebody tore the pages or cut pages in a book, and I was very upset.
That's what I'm talking about, where this movie has like a layer of anime, because Alan's character at one point, right before he's left alone in a room before when all the guys clear out, he's meant to kill Mr. Hui. And he's leaning back on the car having a cigarette. And I was like, I've seen that like animated before. And this movie also has a layer of James Bond to it, because all of the villains all have a thing. Like Johnny is this like crime boss lord who is very fatalist. He hates police, And traditionally he wouldn't kill civilians, but he kind of snaps. Before we know Alan is a bad guy, he's got a James Bond villainy thing where he makes paper cranes for all of his victims that he's killed. I love all that kind of stuff. It works so well in this scenario. And that's the long and short of it.
I like Alan. I think Alan also is like, I don't know, he is an undercover cop, I guess, and he's been in it sounds like, for a while. I feel like, based on, obviously not my own knowledge as an undercover cop, but just like books or movies, they do shitty things. They have to. And he's just like been in it so long. And I feel like the cranes are there as like a little reminder to him of like every person he's killed in this role.
Also, I kept being like, I've seen the character, the actor who plays Johnny, like in a few other things, but I'm like, he reminds me of somebody so much, and I cannot put my finger on who it is until like partway through the movie, and then I'm like, oh, it's this baby, it's this suspicious baby, it's this guy.
You're not wrong.
This is Alan as a baby, or not Alan, Johnny.
So
this is Johnny as a baby. Anyway.
Yeah, he's got a very peculiar look about him. I was captivated by that actor through the whole thing. He's a very good villain.
I think
I
think when I saw him, I was like, this man looks mixed.
Yeah, he definitely looks kind of like white, like half white or something.
Which isn't like a rare thing for like Hong Kong filmmaking as well. It happens a lot. Sometimes there'll just be like actual white people there, and you're like, and it's like so jarring. You're like, what the? Wait a minute, what's going on here?
I wanted to say this movie, the estimated budget is $4.5 million. In Hong Kong, it made $19.7 million. So, sequel. In the U.S., very limited release. It only made about 71,858. But in France, it sold 85,000 tickets. I don't really know what that means according to Wikipedia. So it didn't have great returns in the West, but it was that's blockbuster status in Hong Kong.
I think I also read that this was the last movie he did before doing like more Hollywood. Okay, yes.
This was his like farewell to Hong Kong cinema. Then he went to the West and started making Hollywood.
And it's flipped from more like gang focused, I guess, or perspective.
Yeah, and he went back and forth. Like he'd still made movies in Hong Kong, like here and there. But yeah, he primarily came over and did a bunch of action movies and stuff that is pretty well known, like Face Off.
I didn't know he did Face Off. I was like, wow.
I think he also did one of the Mission
Impossible 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That's the crazy one. Yeah, that's the one where they're like dance fighting while riding motorcycles and shooting guns at each other like over ramps and stuff. Like it's
like really kind of like this movie. No, there's no dance.
A little bit. Yeah. He's made a few others that I know I've seen. Broken Arrow, but I can't really remember what it's about.
I was gonna say Broken Arrow and Face Off are kind of came out around the same time and have similar action stuff going on. I have Face Off downloaded. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I'm very excited to rewatch it. That movie's also insane.
Yeah.
Broken Arrow is an insane movie too.
Truly insane.
John Woo is a pretty insane filmmaker, but like
he was in this movie.
He was. I don't think that I've really seen a John Woo movie that I didn't like, or a John movie that I hated. I should say that much. There's a few that I'm like are forgettable and I don't really remember what happens in them, but like I typically have a pretty good time when I watch a John Woo. And it is because he knows how to make his action interesting, which is difficult for some people, not for
also in this like movie, like the action scene at the end, that hospital scene, I swear to you, is the entire back hour of the movie. And honestly, the longer it went on, the more captivated I was, like the more interested I was. And I am at a point where it's hard for me to get through an entire movie in one sitting. I'm very much like a pause halfway through and like continue it later. But this one just kind of like, I understand what you mean with like long action sequences. Eventually you're kind of just like, okay, I'm done with this. Like, especially nowadays where it's all like camera angle shifts and like using darkness. Yeah. And you're like, oh, this kind of like, okay, cool. You're just moving a bunch to make it look like they're moving a bunch. This one was just it just got zanier and zanier in a way that made you just love it more and more and be like, where are they going?
You're like, what is he going to do next? And also he'll do things like there's the scene that's been sticking in my head this whole week is he shoots a guy on a motorcycle, and then the next sequence, like seconds later, is a guy jumps on a motorcycle and he shoots him and he goes into the back of a flatbed truck and like crashes
into a human being.
Into a human being, into a man. And I was like, you didn't need to do all of that, but it all worked, so you may as well try it.
And he also there's never really a moment in the action that doesn't really follow through into another thing. Like it's almost like everything that's happening has an effect on the environment or on the next shot. It's never just like a bunch of mishmashed action of people randomly shooting each other. It's like, no, this guy's shooting this guy, and then in the background you can see this guy killing this guy, and then we go over and we see that guy getting killed by that guy, but then also that guy dying, like he shoots it and a guy gets shot when he's up in the rafters or whatever.
And you see the body just hanging there.
Yeah,
it's absolutely incredible.
I also, during that warehouse sequence, was like, I think that Chow Yun-Fat's gun, anytime he fires it, something either dies or explodes. And then the next like 3 shotgun blasts was an explosion or a man getting his chest blown.
Yeah, he shotguns like 3 people and they all get taken out in the hospital at one point. I think during that sequence in the warehouse
to Danny, I was like, I think either someone dies or something explodes. Like a second after I said that, he shot his shotgun and it blew a motorcycle into a flaming ball in the air, in midair. And I was like, okay, I'm right. I think I'm right, guys.
Which is also part of like insane physics I'm talking about. Like, I've never seen anything like a lot of the stuff I've seen in this movie. Like some movies have like a scene, some action movies have like a scene that you're like, wow, that was really well done. But everything that kept happening, I was like, there's no way he's going to top that. And then we get, there's this chaotic sequence where everything's sort of just happening in the hospital, and it'll cut to outside and people will be falling out of windows and like cars
trying to run away.
Trying to run away. A guy brings out
hand babies down from the 3rd floor.
A guy brings
I can't talk about
launcher.
the babies yet. I need like a good 10-minute lead time before we get to the baby.
Oh yeah, we will. We can probably just get into the meat and potatoes because we are sort of talking about that.
Well, I mean, we should mention briefly that John Woo is also in this movie. I know you already said that, but he's like a pretty important character. He's sort of like a
bartender who I think was previously a cop undercover that got out, was like the context that I got from that. It was very cool. He was kind of like the advice giving bartender.
He's like the wise bartender. And it's also it seems like that bar, the jazz bar, is sort of like a cop bar, or a detective bar at least, or where people who were once police officers or detectives or inspectors all go there to hang out and
all play jazz for each other.
Oh my god, we forgot that it does start with him in the jazz bar playing a clarinet.
It's so
that is at the very beginning. That's before the scene in the tea house.
It is,
Yes.
He slams down his tequila and soda and makes it all fizzy, and then
I was going to mention that if we got to the body.
Sorry.
Oh, you're going to mention it? Okay. Let's go to the body.
The body of the episode.
She's got legs. Sorry.
Legs. Look at those legs. That's right. So you mentioned that this movie opens up with the most opening to a movie I've ever seen. When he pours I guess it's tequila.
It is. You see it right afterwards next to his drink before he drinks it. It just is a giant bottle of tequila.
But he just he pours the soda in and then he slams it and then he chugs it. And then
I've never seen this. He plays the clarinet, which is
the clarinet, yeah.
Which is almost less cool than a flute, which is weird to say.
Whoa. Let's not shit on a clarinet. Okay.
I'm assuming you play the clarinet.
Some of us could only do the clarinet in elementary school band because the saxophone hurt their cheeks too much to blow.
Oh, this is the exact conversation I had with somebody else while I was watching this movie. I was like, it's not the coolest instrument to play as a inspector detective who can jump through the air with 2 pistols at the same time.
I think if you can jump through the air with 2 pistols, anything you do is kind of cool.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not.
And Chow Yun-Fat doesn't look like a standard action man. He's just tall.
No, he looks like a clarinet player.
Yeah, he's very tall. Is really what I boiled it down to.
My theory about this is that they were like, oh, well, we should have you playing the saxophone. He's like, well, I can play the clarinet. And they're probably like, maybe the saxophone. He's like, no, I want to play the clarinet. So they're like,
what about all the
"Okay."
saxophone music that plays later in the movie? Similar
That's
to
not
Lethal
him.
Weapon. They're like,
That's John
no.
Woo.
That's John Woo,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's John. Yeah, so it's revealed that he's a clarinet player and he's a badass.
They're
We
trying
see
to
a
show you he
montage
has
of-
sides, you know? He's not
Yeah.
just the hard-boiled detective. He loves jazz.
He loves jazz and specifically clarinet jazz. The jazz
Over the-
clarinet.
Over the credits, we see a bunch of crimes happening in the area. This lines up with. So I know this isn't Japan, but the Japanese Yakuza famously switched over to guns from swords. And I feel like this must have happened with the Chinese mafia as well because of the way that they are so hyper focused on the gunplay in this. Now, I'm not saying that they, out of honor, they used to use swords or whatever, but it did feel like the guns were relatively new because of the amount of guns that were being used. And they do mention the Yakuza at one point, but like Yakuza is Japanese, isn't it? Or can it be also Chinese?
It's Japanese, but I assume that they operate globally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably all over the place.
I think that Johnny guy was the Did he say the triad?
The triads, yeah.
Triads they're the Chinese mafia, yeah.
Also, he's an arms dealer, so maybe they're just bringing in new guns. There were so
Yeah.
many different types of guns in this. It was kind of cool.
It felt sort of like standard, 80s action movie tropey stuff to me, where I'm just like, oh yeah, this makes sense. This is a thing that, is good. It's also like, it's always weird when you're dealing with like drugs and stuff because it brings in a different sort of like vibe to it. But this is just like purely like implements of destruction. That's what's happening. Yeah.
It was all gun running. There was no drug element at all, which was really interesting to see, I thought, because it's always drugs. But when it's not drugs, it's so much crazier because they're using guns to defend the guns that they're trading with other people, which is cool. So then they go to some kind of bird bar.
I can explain this if you'd like, because I was so curious. I'm like,
I'm so
what the
curious.
fuck?
Yes.
I was like, is this like a weird, like they're pretending it's a pet store so they can like gamble and like the police are supposed to not know about it or something? And apparently no, it's just traditionally in this area of China, elderly men would go to tea houses, and there would be specific tea houses that would allow you to bring your pet birds because there were so many people that had pet birds, and they would bring their birds with them, and they would drink tea, and they would just have conversations with their friends while also being able to have their animal companion there, which is like very nice. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But
Birds just seem like the type of animal you could leave at home, right? Like it's not going to get pissed off you left it.
This is true, but maybe it's a different culture. I'm not sure exactly how it works, and like I find birds to be absolutely disgusting. I hate birds so much, and when I go to someone's house and they have a pet bird, I say, please don't take the bird out of the cage, and they're like, I'm going to take the bird out. I'm like, don't do it.
Don't do it.
I might accidentally punch it out of the air. I cannot pause.
What's the size of the bird? Like we're talking like big chocolate birds?
Any bird.
I agree. I do think birds are kind of the meanest animal to keep as a pet. I'm sorry to anyone who's a bird person. They fly outside.
I think I'm just scared of them. I've also been attacked by birds as a child, and like I think I just have like an actual weird, legitimate fear.
The situation where I was at my cousin's and I discovered their parakeet had died, and I was the first person to discover it. So I had to be like, "Hey, this bird's laying down over here. Is that normal?" And they're like, "Wow, I just ruined your weekend." Great.
Yeah, gotta go. I don't hate birds. I just really don't understand them as a pet, and I don't like them, and they make me nervous. Actually, one time I was doing a talk at Ryerson for like whatever. It was for the escape game stuff. But afterwards, I left, and a fucking bird just attacked my head, and like there are all these people like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know.
Was it a goose?
I don't know. Maybe I looked like a person that threatened the mother bird's nest or something at some point. Maybe it was the color of my hat.
Were you wearing a hat?
I was wearing a hat, yeah.
Maybe she was trying to get like stuff for a nest, She's like, I can pull it.
That looks like a
get
good
some
nest.
wool. Yeah.
She attacked me, and then I punched at the bird, and people got mad at me. They were like, don't do that. I'm like, it's attacking me. What am I supposed to do? Like, just allow it to peck my fucking eyes out? Anyway.
This is a very long, this is going to be a shorter version of a story, but everyone knows Costco. and Costco
Yeah.
has a bajillion seagulls outside of it. Every Costco in the world seems to have a bajillion seagulls.
Yeah.
I put my French fries on top of the car to help me put groceries in, and a whole bunch of
God.
seagulls attacked us. And I had to dive in my car and shut the door, and it was just like literally dive bombing birds just hitting it.
Look at
Terrifying.
that. All three of us have legitimate reasons to hate birds.
I've been attacked by geese. Like when I worked in Brampton. Brampton is known
geese are
for geese.
universally
They're bad.
hated by all human beings. not
Yeah,
just-
but sometimes they go rogue. Like in Brampton, when you go to like the industrial park areas, clearly they have paved over their habitat and they just go back there. Like in Brampton, it's not normal to see geese taking their geeslings across the street. Everybody stops, it slows everything down. But in this business park I worked at when I was at Indigo, one day a goose just went insane and was posted up outside the front door and was just going nuts on people who were trying to go into the building. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
they can fuck you up too, geese.
Yeah.
Anyway, we all hate
Birds.
geese. Every person on
this
Earth
bird-
hates geese. Yeah, they're not cool.
Am I flipped or am I correct?
No, that's good. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
Everybody's hard boiled now.
Yeah, mine's flipped for me, but
Okay.
so yeah, it's a traditional practice where these men would bring their pet birds and go to the tea house. So this is just sort of like he wanted to show that in the scene. It does make the scene very strange to someone like me who's not familiar with the tradition, but at the same time, it makes it really cool because there's all these
visually
weird props everywhere, and it's like they're shooting through the cages and
Feathers everywhere.
there's feathers everywhere. The noise is crazy because it's like they're talking, but there's just constant bird sounds going inside of a building, which is just like jarring to see visually. And
Tequila's trying to keep an eye on the people doing the deal behind him, and
he's
got
got a mirror inside of his cage.
on his cage.
Genius.
Yeah, it's fucking weird and it's fucking cool, and I like
And-
every second of it.
Yeah.
On my note about it being kind of like an anime, the voiceover for like the bad guys that he's watching have the most anime bad guy voices I've ever heard.
A lot of the especially in the 80s, a lot of the voiceover artists, they would do all of these movies and then they would also do anime. And I think that's kind of still the case for a lot of dubs. It's like voiceover artists that do anime also do foreign language films all the time. So they probably didn't even know what they were doing. They're like, okay, what are the lines? What do you mean?
Where are the bad guys?
Also, based on the lines, I would assume potentially an anime movie. Like, it's hard. If you were just
Yeah.
given the script, what would you? You don't know.
Yeah, you have no clue. Is John Woo there
And then
overseeing this? Who knows?
17-minute shootout. Okay, cool. This is an anime.
It is also one of those things because most dubs that I've seen with Chow Yun-fat in them, he does his own voice for the majority of the movies that I've seen because he can speak English. So it was weird to not hear him doing his own dub. I don't know how you felt about that, but I was kind of like thrown off by it. I'm like, wait a minute, why doesn't he just do it himself? But I don't know, maybe this was earlier in his career and his
I
English
also
was
wasn't
stronger.
sure. Like, the one I ended up watching was like a 2003 remaster or something. So I also wasn't sure if the dubbing was perhaps like something added much later. So like, would he go back because then I was looking it up. I was like, is this the actual dub version?
Yeah.
I'm still not 100% clear if it was. Like, I don't really know if it was.
I watched a version.
vetted.
It didn't have the year on the tracker, but it says remastered. We talked about this a little bit at the party last weekend, and the movie felt like they cobbled together a bunch of different versions of the movie because there's some real disjointed bits. That's like my one problem with this version of the movie I watched.
I do want to see the actual. Like, I do intend to see like the original version, like not dubbed, because I am interested to see.
It's on Tubi. That's where I watched it, and it has both versions. So I watched both this week.
Okay, so you watched the version with subtitles?
I watched
or did
both,
it also? So what was it shorter? Was it longer?
No, they're the same length. Yeah,
they're the same. Okay. Could you tell was one not remastered? That's
No,
something
they're
that
the
was
same.
curious.
They're
I'm
the same.
assuming-
They were the same version. The only difference is one of them has people speaking English and the other one doesn't.
And if we got those weird British, like where Tequila's character did sound British sometimes, and I think maybe it was the same dubbing.
That's the one I had. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. It was very confusing because I'm like, is this man British? Like, I don't know who's doing it.
Yeah. It was odd.
My only note from the Bird Bar restaurant is so many dead people, so many dead birds. That's pretty much.
Weirdly enough,
Well,
the only bird that you saw get potentially injured in this sequence was
Crushed.
when somebody. Oh, I guess that. But then there's also the part where somebody throws a chicken at Tequila from off screen to make the shot more interesting.
Very funny. Also, there were no chickens in that. I think were there chickens in the restaurant?
In the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
how
want
they
to know
prepare
why.
them. Yeah.
The vegetarian in me is saying no.
It's for fresh eggs, Tatiana. They
Good
lay their own
goodness, of
eggs
course,
in house.
yeah.
So the whole thing comes to a head because they witness the exchange of guns for money. The police jump into action, and
In the craziest way. It's like
Yeah.
it's not like they just stand up and say freeze.
They
No,
don't
no.
try to arrest them.
One
They
of the
kick over
inside.
tables and chairs, and
No,
they
no,
like
no,
reveal.
no. One of the inside cops walks up to the table and just starts swinging around a tea kettle full of boiling water and
Right,
hitting
oh,
people
yeah.
with it,
He slaps the guy with it. Yeah.
which is the wildest way to start a fight because you are burning people and also smacking them. And it was like a big cast iron tea
Yes.
kettle. It was
Classic.
so crazy. Yeah.
At no point in this, from the beginning of the movie to the very end, does a single cop say, "Stop, you're under arrest." Like at no
No.
point do they ever
say-
try to actually arrest.
Yeah. They say freeze or you're dead man and immediately start shooting. Yeah.
The action sequence is just wild. I didn't really make any notes specifically about it. We can all kind of conjure it in our minds, but when everybody's leaving to go down the stairs, and this happens a couple times in this movie where people are like falling over each other to get downstairs.
Yeah.
Tequila runs out. He pushes a woman out of the way, and the momentum of that like knocks him onto the banister, and you literally see him go fuck it and slide down the banister just shooting, which amazing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the John Woo that I want to
Mary
see.
Poppins is himself down the fucking banister while shooting two pistols, and he shoots that guy 17 times. I counted it. 17 for one guy, and every bullet hits.
Yeah. And
I think I
the
yelled,
guy's
"Mary
still
Poppin,
taking
the
out cops
cap in
and
your
stuff.
ass."
I also love when someone shoots two pistols. Like it feels so fun. You're like, that just seems like the best way to go about policing.
Yeah. I don't think that there's many sequences in this movie where he's not carrying at least two guns at the same time. If
Unless
not
it's a
more.
super big gun, like a shotgun. He's like
But-
just the one.
Even when he has that shotgun
One on the back.
in the warehouse, he has a shotgun in one hand and a pistol in the other. He's shooting a shotgun with one arm. You're like, oh my god.
And unfortunately, what happens is his partner gets shot in all of this, kind of chases the bad guy into the kitchen. His partner gets taken out. You know, he avenges him. They come to this weird moment where he like has the gun to the guy's head.
Could
and he
arrest him.
Takes him out.
Yeah.
Could arrest him in that
Could
moment.
arrest
Had
him.
him ready
Should have
to be
arrested him.
arrested.
This is also the moment where you realize that he has had his toothpick in his mouth this entire fight. And
Yeah.
never-
So
never
gross.
fell out. Yeah.
I find it so gross. I just don't really like toothpicks.
It's badass though.
It's the fact I'd be so scared. Like you just get bumped. There were so many people
Yeah.
bumping.
What if you swallow it by accident during your gunfight? That's how you get
stuck
taken
in
out.
Or
your
it gets-
throat.
Or it gets stuck up and down in your mouth, so you can't close
Ugh.
it.
Stop that, Jason. It's too real now.
Let's
I
get
don't like
back
it
to him
anymore.
shooting that guy in the face because he killed his partner.
Yeah.
He knew that partner was going to die. Tequila asked him about his family and his child, and I'm like, that guy's not making it.
Yeah.
That's-
It's the equivalent to saying I got 2 more days till retirement.
Well, when
Uh,
Steven mentioned it when we were at the party last weekend, Steven was like, it's like McBain. I'm waiting the whole time, and I only had to wait 20 minutes for it to feel like McBain. He's got his
Yeah.
dead partner in his arms. He may as well went, no! Well, the
Yeah.
camera, like, and that kind of happens later in the movie. And when spoilers, when Alan dies at the end, you kind of get that vibe. You get the McBain vibe.
Not a real spoiler.
Why?
What?
He makes it. Alan doesn't die.
At the end?
There's a scene at the end where he's on the
Yeah,
boat.
he's on a
and
boat.
Shipping away.
Yeah, he's got a cast on. He
Like-
throws all of
Oh,
They burn his file so he can like go away and live his like
Yeah.
regular
I
life.
misinterpreted that. I was like, they burned his file so there would be no paper trail about him existing, and then Tequila took the boat.
I don't.
That's what happened in my head.
Oh,
Because
no,
he's
that's
throwing
not
the
Tequila.
brains into the water.
That
I
was-
don't know
you
how
see, it's
real
Alan.
it-
That was his face. They'd have a
I don't
different
know how
I
real
missed.
this is,
I
but
somehow missed
apparently
that.
Alan, I think, was supposed to die, and people were just like, "No, you can't have him die at the end. He has to get away."
If it was a traditional noir movie, Alan would have died. That is like the one thing that where I'm like going through this. I'm like, if they were going by the rules of what the noir genre is, Alan would have died, and it would have just been a tragic ending.
And
But
Tequila would have gotten the boat.
or Tequila would have
I
died
guess-
too.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a hard-boiled detective movie, so everybody has a happy ending. See,
Well, speaking of this, the superintendent gives Tequila what for killing his number one suspect. He's like, you had him and you killed him, and Tequila just fucking loses his
And that will
mind.
never
over
happen.
that.
I feel like someone siding with like the vice principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but like I think the superintendent was just trying to do his job this entire movie and just like
True.
was dealing with a person that was not listening.
It's that's absolutely what was
Yes, I
happening.
would agree.
Tequila kept fucking everything up because
Yeah.
he doesn't know enough information to be able to solve the problem himself. But little does he know, there's so much more going on. Tequila,
Yeah.
you need to chill out, man.
But my partner's dead.
Yeah, but that's not how Tequila
so-
plays the game.
No, true. We get a funeral with some Lethal Weapon sax, and Tequila's playing the clarinet. We find out later that he writes songs for all of his fallen comrades, and so there's this
And
thing
Alan
with-
makes paper cranes for all of the men he kills, so they're
True.
the same.
Art.
Yeah,
Yeah. The police chief gets a confidential document. Tequila remembers his pal playing the drums. Just has a memory of that. So were these guys police by day and play in a police band by night? Is sort of a note that I read there.
probably.
And then we were introduced to a guy driving a Miata while 90s funk plays.
Yeah, enter Alan, the coolest man
The
to ever
coolest
live.
man.
He
He
kind of looks a
dresses
little.
so well. Like
Yeah.
I loved everything he wore. It might have been
It's
the
also like
sunglasses.
this style is all returned again now, like the 80s style. I mean, at least it was for a little while. I'm not sure if it still is.
I think it's all
um,
back.
But he kind of looks a little bit like Justin Long to me. I don't know if you guys saw that as well, but every time I
I
saw him,
can
like he
see
looks a little bit
it.
like Justin Long.
I can see it. He's also cool as fuck. Like him and Foxy, I kind of had them a little bit confused because of their sunglasses in this earlier part of the movie. But this is when he goes into the library.
Alan's
he's
way
so-
hotter than Foxy, Jason.
Okay.
Foxy kind of looks like my uncle, so that's how I was like, no. He also kind of dresses like my uncle, so it's kind
I
of
want to
all
meet your uncle. It
over.
sounds awesome. I like how Alan's a germaphobe, but for like 10 seconds, he opens the turnstile with a
I think-
handkerchief
I
and
think
goes
it's
upstairs and
fingerprint
touches
thing.
every book on the shelf.
Okay. So that's what me and Danny had this conversation as well. I was like, is he trying to not put fingerprints on it? That's what I assumed because they're going
Yeah.
to dust for prints.
That's
maybe.
what I thought as well. Yeah,
But then he, like you said, he touches every
he
fucking
touches
book.
everything.
Okay, we can only leave a fingerprint going like this on some books.
But he's careful when he enters, and then you could accidentally leave a fingerprint on those books, and then he grabs the whole book with his whole fucking hand and puts it back there later.
He puts it back. I know.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was kind of respectful, but the disrespectful
these-
thing was cutting out the hole in it for the gun.
Well, Alan
These
did-
police aren't doing fingerprinting. We don't
No.
see them do a single detective, a cop.
no,
You know,
he does like a Sherlock
maneuver.
Holmes like mind palace, or like he turns into like Will Graham from Hannibal for a second, where he just like somehow can use intuition to know exactly which
Where he
book he
turned.
took. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how is he doing this? Was it the McDonald's he was eating? Gave him sweet brain
the
powers.
shape of this magazine is the same as the shape that the blood left on the table. So therefore, it's got to be a book about this size in a library. Anyway, he figures it out. But there is a gun in the book, and he kills this mustache guy for some sort of betrayal.
His
but
name
there's a witness.
What was that guy's name again? He had a very specific
Mustache.
name. Was it like Jimmy or something? We got to replace Jimmy because you killed Jimmy, so now you're Jimmy. Everybody has like a really weird mafia sounding name, you know, like
Weird Western names.
like
Yes,
for
I was.
Alan.
I honestly was surprised Alan was this guy's name. I'm like Alan.
Yep. Except for Uncle Hoy. Everybody else
Oh.
though.
Who
Yeah.
seemed lovely. He's like, this is my family. Everybody called him uncle. You knew he wasn't everybody's uncle. That's just like, he was like, we're family in this
All his
crime
goons
family.
were like doofus brothers.
so
I assumed
funny.
it was like a Godfather situation, right? It's like the Godfather. He's like the uncle. He's the uncle. He's
Yeah.
everybody's uncle. He wants to make sure everybody's eating their fresh pears. Remember, he's like, everybody eat. He's like sitting there like peeled like 1,000 fucking pears for these guys to eat. It's funny.
Tequila sleuths the book as he mentioned it, and he finds the gun. And the scene ends in a freeze frame like it's going to commercial. And the freeze frames in this movie are insane as well. I don't know.
It's
why
almost like
they
you
end-
didn't know how to edit a movie or something. Like
Yeah.
when the first time you use like Premiere Pro or
PowerPoint?
something. Or, yeah, or like you're not familiar with Final Cut and you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. How do crossfades work? Yeah, whatever. I'll just freeze frame for some reason.
But it just
Um,
goes over to Alan on his boat doing origami.
Yes, and that is where we're introduced to the origami, and that he has a bunch of paper cranes and he's making one. As of yet, we don't know why, but we learn that it is of great importance to him later in the movie because he lives daily with the guilt of every murder that he's ever committed and wants to be reminded of those deaths. So he creates a crane and hangs it within his boat that he lives in.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it
So
does seem
cool.
like a nice boat.
At the police station, the boys are doing a little bit of detective work with the gun, but then they just start razzing Tequila for being single.
Yeah,
Which-
they give him a real hard time. And it's like he's recently single because he was
Yeah, because
dating.
he's looking for an apartment too. Like he's looking through
Yeah.
like a newspaper for a rental.
Yeah,
You can stay at the YMCA for 300, and I'm like, that's like 300
yen or whatever.
whatever Chinese
Can't-
dollars.
Is it
are.
yen? I don't even remember.
No,
what the
that's
currency in China-
Japan.
That's Japan, right?
Juan?
Is it won?
Won. Yeah, won. Or is that Korea?
Oh my god, I'm sorry, that's from Physical 100, so that might be Korea. Listen, I don't know currencies in most places.
Yeah, me neither.
I know dollars.
You go to Ireland and you're like, wait a minute, they use different money in the north and the south?
And
Hold
that's
on.
the most insane thing in the world. To go from euros to pounds across like a country that you can drive in 4 hours is
300
insane.
miles.
But also, they have kilometers and then they have miles when you go across the
Yes.
border from north.
But I mean, that's us too, right?
That's true, but except like
Yeah.
you know, very rarely is it all of a sudden going to switch on you. Anyway, we're talking about
Yes.
So we're
talking about hard
introduced-
boiled, not Ireland.
Yeah, we're Ireland boiled. We're introduced to Teresa, I think her name is one of the. She's like the lady cop, sort of. But I
Singing
didn't
a
really get-
song.
I didn't get the vibe that she was like. It felt like she was more of like an office executive. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
really
she
get
didn't
lady
seem
cop
like
from
she
her.
had her own office. She was like fielding communications from their undercover officers. I don't know what her role is, but yeah, I don't know. Because I also don't
I
think
kept
she
thinking
already
of Kamala Harris because I don't know if Kamala Harris ever worked the beat, but she was a cop.
She was. I thought she was a judge.
Yeah. Well, she was like a
Was she both?
a prosecutor. Right, but we find out that she's getting a lot of flowers. It's revealed why in a little while, and apparently her and Tequila used to date or still date, or
They're
she
like on a
refers to her as
break.
yeah, we were on a break. Yeah, and the new guy is overdoing it because there's a constant barrage of roses, white roses, going into this woman's office. And then there's this whole thing with like a secret message based off a song that I feel like it was a plot point that doesn't really have an end. Can you guys enlighten me if there was more to it and I missed it? Because she has to like sing a song and she uses the notes of the song to get numbers, and the superintendent is typing those numbers into like some sort of primitive AI and giving them back words about where
I guess like
drop
updates from
is?
I guess it's kind of like a dead drop, but instead of that, it's kind of just like a hey, what's the code to get the update on our mission or like whatever the
Okay.
guy's doing. I don't think that's a really great system.
Felt
Like-
lost in translation a little bit too, because I was like, what is any of this? It never comes back. It's just they show it twice and then it never really
And it's
is
also
anything.
like they did like a Do Re Mi system for the different notes, and I'm like, that's so good. Like, that's like at least 3 people in one room that are able to know notes. You know what, clarinet guy, I kind of understand. So I take it back. I do believe in Tequila knowing the notes.
I wonder if it's a cultural thing as well, because like here we do have like music as an option, right? But like when we're in middle school here, you have to take a music class, but you get to choose whether you want to try and play an instrument or you want to be like a vocalist or whatever. But it is required to have some sort of music. It's like art and all those, like when you're a kid, there are all these sort of like different avenues that everybody has to participate in, and some people become passionate about them and grow up to try and be an illustrator and then get fired and replaced by AI, and some of them just go on to do whatever they want.
Some people barely pass art class.
Exactly.
And are like, I did science, thank you.
But I wonder if maybe it's like you have to do it for longer, like you have to take French up until a certain grade. Maybe
it's also like they're kind of like Germany, you take like 3 languages instead of like you have to take like
2,
German, English, and 1 extra language.
Everywhere is different. But I mean, if you were to be in a regular police station in North America and tried to get people to read sheet music, I guarantee you nobody would be able to do it. Especially not 3 of like the highest ranking officials within that police
station. And Alan.
Yeah, everybody knows how to do it. Yeah.
We get another interaction with Tequila and the superintendent where he basically just tells him to keep working, which was also funny to me. Like, you keep working. Like, okay, well, here's my badge and my gun.
They really went from like 0 to 100 so fast, the 2 of them, every interaction.
Can't stop fighting with each other. It's great.
I liked it because it was like a little bit, it felt like somebody who had watched kind of like those I don't know what's the genre. I feel like I'm bad at this, but like the Starsky and Hutch, the 21 Jump Street, like I don't know, something where it's like
buddy cop.
Yeah, like the buddy cop, but also the cops that are always like going against their main, like their leader. They're like the renegade cops, the ones that are like always getting in trouble but getting the job done at the end. But then kind of like a take on it from, I guess, someone where that's kind of a movie, and I'm assuming like another language for you and kind of like a different understanding of what that looks like. It was very fun to see. It felt very tropey.
Well, this is like Riggs from Lethal Weapon. He's always
that's who I was thinking of. I think it was like
he's always just like, you can't contain me or I'll fucking blow this whole town up. And the police chief was like, give me your badge and your gun and get out of here. And he's like, I still have a badge and a gun. But no badge and 2 guns.
I got a box of badges and a box of guns in my trunk of my car.
I don't need the badge or the gun. I've got guns at home and I'll get this done tomorrow.
Exactly. So it looks like Mr. Hoy is the crime boss du jour. Alan goes to see him. There's a group of doofuses. I love how they run up to him like, oh, Mr. Hoy, Duncle Hoy. Alan suggests that this crime man goes to Hawaii to sort of retire. And but he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay the course. And another young nephew shows up, who I believe is Fox. Mr. Hoy says you can never trust him. It's a very untrustworthy individual. So there are the good guys and the bad guys. Even
wait. The musical note thing, isn't that like it's intended for the police chief, right? And he's the only one that knows about Alan. And the note is sent by Alan, and it basically just says, it's basically just to signal to the police chief that like his cover might be blown. I think that's like what it is. Right?
So later in the movie, when it's revealed to us that the roses are Alan's roses, were we supposed to be like, oh, and the note stuff was supposed to be from him as well? But we already know that he is undercover because there's that scene where he gives him the lighter. So like,
I don't think we know he's undercover yet at that point, because he did the murder, like he murdered the person in the library. That happens.
No, we don't know he's undercover when we don't know who that note is from. So
it sort of comes together.
Yeah, it's basically just signaling to us as the audience that like there is somebody working undercover. So like if you have to go down a list of who we've been introduced to so far, it's kind of, that's the only option. But there is like the general reveal that we get later when they have the guns to each other, and it's very clear at that point, like, okay, he's a good guy,
I
or at
think
least
it's also
not
like,
an evil guy.
I think it's kind of like that you get the note and it's maybe just like a hint or like a note or nudge for you that there's still someone undercover working there, because we know that
Right.
Tequila's killed one of the undercover
Yeah,
people, or one of the undercover people got killed. So it's like, hey, there's more than one in this organization. One's still actively working. I was like, is it Foxy? But then I'm like, no, they are really focusing on this Alan guy.
Foxy seems like a real scumbag.
I made
That's
a note
my
later.
Uncle Steven.
I made a note later in my notes that this movie feels like it's got like TV show pacing, but in 2 hours. You know, like this 2-hour movie could be stretched out into like a 6-part miniseries. And I think, you know, add some more villains, add some more interpersonal stuff with Tequila and Teresa, and you got yourself a TV show cooking here. That's an interesting thing that John Woo was able to do, fit all of these like intertwined story elements together. It's never feels super linear, and I think that's in the storytelling parts of the movie. I think that's really interesting and important for something like this, because then it'll go into a 15-minute shootout, which it's its own awesomeness. But you know, you watch these action movies a lot of times, and the story almost plays second fiddle to everything else is going on, because it's just like, that's not what we're here to see. But they managed to make the actual plot pretty engaging and pretty interesting. And it's a movie like I feel like you need to watch a second time. We're kind of doing it by talking about it on this level, but if I had watched this once, I'd be like, what was all that stuff about the music notes? And I'd go back, and then you'd have the additional context of knowing Alan was sort of in the background of the whole first and second and a half act. So yeah, it's just I
want a Mad Dog prequel episode.
Yeah.
I want his life story.
I want a Mad Dog movie.
I want it to come out that Mad Dog actually survived, like Terminator style, and like does continue on.
Yeah,
he steps out of the flames.
Listen, this movie definitely establishes that in order for you to be dead, you need to be shot at least 17 times. Mm-hmm. So and he was only shot once. He was shot.
That's not true. He was shot by all of them, wasn't he? He was shot by.
No, he took a rocket through the chest, and also was shot from that like "say hello to my little friend" weapon.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
I forgot that he was just constantly being shot for the last like fucking 17 minutes of this movie.
He's gonna come out like literally full Terminator out of the fire, just like a completely like metal body and like an eye.
Falls off, like, glowing red eye underneath. Oh my god, he's a robot. Robo.
Like
they go to a
grenade pins in his mouth as he's there. Just
where are the kids? They start blowing up in the background because it's badass. They go to a meeting with Johnny, who we find out to be Johnny, another crime boss. Alan,
I have a picture of him right here.
Yeah, there he is. Perfect.
This is Johnny.
So suspicious. Alan, he wants Alan to be part of his like arms business, and it's weird. I noticed they're being all smiley and nice for how sinister the situation is. And they shake on it. They're gonna shake it out. They're gonna become business partners. I still have no idea that this guy's undercover. I don't know if I meant to or not, but in retrospect, it's like
they haven't really given you enough information at this point for you to be able to piece that together. But they do enough work in terms of tone and music and like lingering camera and like, you know, his facial expressions and things to show that he has something going on behind those eyes, but you're not exactly sure what it is.
There's something of importance there, like whether he's like, also you're kind of like toying with the story of like someone who is clearly working for one baddie, like criminal baddie, and he's like making the decision to make the jump, and you're like, oh, is that what we're dealing with? Or I wasn't aware he was undercover at this point.
There's the sequence where the Johnny leaves the building to find his car papered with newspaper articles that aren't subtitled or translated for us, but I assume it's a bunch of
they were in the Tubi version. Yeah, it's just,
what were they?
It was just a bunch of Johnny crimes. I don't remember exactly what they were, but yeah, it's exactly
Johnny crimes.
It's exactly what you would think it is. Yeah. Johnny is bad. Bad guy Johnny, back at it.
I liked Johnny as a villain. He was like a little bit cartoony in his villainness, and I did love it.
Yeah, he kind of reminded me of a James Bondy kind of a villain.
I do also like that he puts on the face of like you're part of our family now. I trust you explicitly because you are loyal and loyalty matters. But then, like, anytime he's alone, he's like, I don't trust that motherfucker. Like, immediately is just like, maybe just follow him. Follow him. I want to make sure that he's not doing something weird in that boat of his.
You also can't call someone loyal if they are betraying like the people that they work for / family to join you.
During that
disloyal.
During that initial meeting, that's what he was saying, is like, as long as Uncle is alive, I will be loyal to him. So as much as I'd like to work with you, I can't do anything against him because I'm loyal to him. And then that's like the seed of respect that's planted there. But then obviously later he shoots the shit out of Uncle.
It feels like he just like dissociates, like his eyes go full crazy and he just
when he takes up that whole group of his old compadres. At this point though, Alan knocks out, so Tequila like shows up here. It's like, surprise, and Alan manages to knock him out, and
it pops out of the bushes.
Yeah. They decide not to kill him though because it's broad daylight on a city sidewalk. But anyway, so anyway, later on, Tequila's fishing. Just cuts to like him fishing.
Oh, he's got to look inconspicuous to meet his contact or whatever.
But it was confusing to me because he just got knocked out he's laying on a sidewalk, and the next scene is him with a bandage over his head where he got punched, fishing. I didn't know it was going to happen.
He gets smacked in the face with a gun.
He gets punched. Gun butt to the face. But yeah, we find out here. Also, I think the point of this was to show that Tequila is a good guy. He's fishing and doing catch and release. And then when he throws the fish back in the water, he blows air in its mouth so it can breathe.
Because fish breathe
air. Yeah, that's not how that works. I
think it opens their gills up or whatever, right? So that when they fall.
Okay.
Maybe he just wants to kiss a fish. We don't know. We don't know what Tequila is all about.
I was confused about the fishing, but you know what? It was a pretty vista. Like, it looked nice.
It did look nice. Cool. But yeah, the entire purpose of it was just so that he could hide money in something that didn't look suspicious.
And the only way to do that is a bucket of fish water.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think, like, there's so many ways you can film a scene like this, but like maybe John Woo just wanted to go fishing that day. Yeah. And he's like, let's just film it here. Who gives
it's also like super like meet your snitch kind of to do it on like a pier or dock, right? Like it feels like really
that's natural. Also a trope of noir movies, is like when you meet somebody, you meet by the pier. And it's like in so many crime movies, that's exactly what it is.
Also, like docks are like notoriously in stories like place where like crime goes down, like big drug like movement at the docks today.
Yep. It's because it's the easiest way to move illegal product is via water, because it's so much harder to monitor.
A lot of this movie happens in the daytime too, which is sort of goes against that. All of Dick Tracy seemed to happen at night. Most of Maltese Falcon was at night. I think in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it's all cartoon, but I assume the sky
nighttime cartoon.
Dark. Yeah,
it's not all cartoon. The whole movie is real. Except when they go to Toontown. Ugh, gross.
Yuck. But yeah,
I mean, he's only in Toontown for like 8 minutes, and I gotta tell you, I don't want to go to Toontown. It looks like terrible things would happen to you there.
Yeah, it seems like a terrible place. But
I need to record you saying Toontown like that and have it just be like my text message notice.
Toontown.
Yeah.
It's revealed that Fox is the informant during the sequence. It's also revealed that Tequila helped Fox get his mom into the nursing home. So more Tequila's a good guy. And there's that, like you were saying, there's the bucket of money that he takes for the money. And over to Teresa, who's getting more flowers. Just shows her getting more flowers. So Tequila prepares the hardware for the big bus. He's getting his guns together Rambo style. Superintendent freaks out on Tequila and tells him to lay off the gun bust and go search for the 2 stolen cops' guns from that interaction in front of the, I guess, police station. And Tequila just freaks out at him. I thought he was going to do the badge and gun. Here's my badge and my gun. I'm going rogue. And And it kind of is. He just
It's
doesn't
a
do
vague
it.
threat. Yeah,
It's more like you can't tell me what to do. This is my office.
I
And
think it's
Superman's
like
it's my
there's-
office. Literally, I'm your boss.
there's this level of contention between the two of them where it's like they're very heated towards one another, but I think they also do have like a very deep respect for each other. And you do see that throughout the movie, that it's like, I can't fire this guy. He's literally my best detective, but I can't give him enough information because if I do, he might go bananas and I need all of these pieces to be in place before we can do it. But the way the movie plays out, it's like, maybe you should have let Tequila know what was going on. Because
To be fair, he figures
especially
it out
about
and
Alan.
he goes bananas anyways.
Yeah. There's the big sequence. We go over to the warehouse where the goons are putting weapons inside of, the inside of cars and furniture and all kinds of stuff like that. Johnny tells Alan to join his side and kill Mr. Hoy, and
Can we just
steal
talk
from his
about the
own bar.
motorcycles when they were all driving in and everybody had like
That's so
matching
cool.
motorcycles and like
Yeah.
a V formation with the cars? Because I was there being like, this
This
is
is
working.
sick. Yeah. And then when they arrive and they start like machine gunning from so far
Immediately.
away, and there's so many like beautiful squibs going off, and you're just like, this is so cool. I love
I
it.
don't know if it's Mad Dog or someone else who like literally just like throws their motorcycle while they're riding it so it slides out from under them and like
Yeah, that's
shoots on
Mad
it. So
Dog.
I was like fucking sick.
He also
Like,
does it into a pile of boxes, which was
He's-
somehow cooler.
oh, he is just I feel like he just got the coolest ones. He never really spoke at this point. Like he was always just like the deep, silent, like kind of like scary
Yeah.
one.
He doesn't really talk much in this movie, but
Until at the end when he's like, you didn't have to kill them. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Mhm.
Mad Dog.
he got his, he's the Mad Dog with a heart of gold.
Everybody keeps attacking his one eye.
He's also the guy who like you can tell it's him in this scene because he's wearing like a pure black jean outfit. Like he's wearing a black jean jacket, black jeans, and black boots, and black helmet.
Best thing to ride a motorcycle with. Denim,
Absolutely.
not as good as leather, but better than nothing.
Better than nothing. Better than nude motorbiking. But yeah, this is where we're at now. This is like the
This is the big long
the
action scene in the
25-minute
warehouse.
long warehouse
Yeah.
action sequence.
The
That
physics
as soon as you think
makes
it's
no
over,
sense.
it snaps back. Like it has a lull in the center of it, and then
Yes.
it just snaps back and like
Where they all seem to like kind of clap, being like, wow, we did such a great job. Well done, everyone. And then
And
it starts again.
lone madman descends from the ceiling on a
He
zip
does it by
line.
himself. And you know
Yeah.
what? At least he waited until like they'd shot about half the people. So like half of the baddies were gone.
Yeah,
And then he dives in by himself. Just
he's
completely by
crazy.
himself.
This is where you realize that Detective Tequila Mockingbird is a madman. He is wearing like pure military gear, zips in from the ceiling like Batman, and right into the center. Like it's not like he comes from the side and has cover. He's like fully exposed and everybody's running away from him. But I mean, I guess it would be frightening.
If it works. Also,
He
you can't hit
hides
this
in a
guy with
car.
bullets. People are
Even-
spraying AK-47s at him, and he just gets out of the way.
Yeah.
Like
Even
every
Mad
single
Dog is
time.
missing, and he never misses.
Yeah.
That was when we were just watching it. That was the thing I said. He was like shooting, and he's like, "It always works when I'm shooting at defenseless scientists. Why does it work?" when I'm shooting at it?"
Detective Tequila is too like wiry. He's like jumping, he's hiding behind cars, he's shooting.
He's like, "I've
I
never
wrote
shot a
this
car
idiot
before."
Tequila shows up because he's just like you just said, like he just zip lines into the middle of it. And Mad Dog lights a cigarette off an open, like a giant open flame from where
Mhm.
he's thrown grenades and things are blowing up around him, which I
Beautiful.
thought was amazing.
Yeah, we're kind of jumping around this sequence, but like, because it is
It's
so
sort
long.
of it's a little crazy. Like it's just there's so many moments that are kind of like sensational that you watch and you're like, oh my god, and that too, I think
Yeah.
is
Entirely
my
the-
note is
Go ahead.
Tequila comes in by himself to kill, not arrest the warehouse full of baddies. That's
Yeah.
still
He doesn't
my
have enough
sticking
handcuffs.
point.
Yeah. He's only got one pair of handcuffs. Only one pair of them.
They're for him
Um,
and his new girlfriend.
Oh, God.
He needs to use those handcuffs to unlock a screw later in the movie, so he doesn't want to get some
True.
stuff out.
This this opening or this like the sequence is like a crazy action sequence, which you can't even really describe all the things happening because there's too much stuff happening, but it is amazingly cool. And anybody watching this that hasn't seen the movie, even just that sequence alone is worth watching the entirety of the movie. But it's not even
I
the crazy
didn't-
sequence. And then after that, once everything cools off, once Mad Dog clears the room, they've basically taken over one of Uncle what's his name? Uncle Hoy?
Boy.
Koi. Yeah.
Uncle Hoy's warehouse of weaponry, and then Uncle Hoy and all of his cronies arrive, his nephews, I guess. They show up, and they have a bit of a standoff, and then this is where Alan has to make the choice to betray.
Because Mr. Hoy asks, he's like, please, you can kill me. Just let my boys be okay. Like, let them be okay. And it was really sad. I was like, okay, that's like a really nice thing to do, especially as like, a crime boss. He's like, listen, my time's done. Like, I can die. That's just the way this works. It's like, you rise to the top, you die.
And Conan O'Brien is upset. One of his boys has a Conan O'Brien haircut. I don't know if you guys know this.
I don't know Conan O'Brien's haircut enough. But yes, Alan does not.
I like
sort of
how
tricks him. He's like,
I
yeah,
like
sure,
how
kill
this drama is like soap opera level. It's high drama, and Tequila's just like in the bushes, not the bushes,
The
obviously,
roof.
but it's just behind like boxes watching this and like skulking around. It was a really weird like juxtaposition to like him trying to like take down all of the criminals. And the weird thing too is like when they're having this meeting, the Mad Dog's crew has like gone also into the back room or whatever, because when this meeting starts, they come out and they all have guns on the situation. And man, also Tequila loading his shotgun was crazy. He's just like jamming bullets into the shotgun in the weirdest, craziest way I've ever seen. It's just a cool shot of him
At
doing
least
that.
he's loading his gun. You know how many action sequences you're like, that's too many bullets.
There's too many bullets.
There's no shotgun that can shoot 36 rounds in one go like that. It's not.
Mad Dog throws a grenade as the other crew is arriving. There's a 5-car pileup. More Shakespearean drama between the factions. Alan's still trying to spare as many people as possible for the moment. Hoy needs to talk to Alan, tries to explain that life is not easy. Mr. Ray wants Alan to shoot him personally, and he does it. And then I made a note that the guy who plays Alan is like, he's a really good actor. Like all of his stuff during this sequence is really cool. And the look that he gives Johnny and then turns around and kills the whole squad. He does this thing with his face that was just like very anime as well. And it misrevised like dying wishes, like just spare my boys, as you said. But he turns around with an AK-47 and just like clears them. Just like
It kind of feels like he like puts on, like he almost code switches, right? Like he goes where it's like he takes that deep breath and it's like a different person inhabits him in that moment when he grabs the gun and he's like, I have to do what I have to do, and in this situation it's shoot the rest of them. It was really cool because his eyes change. He like fully changed, like he just goes like full kind of like empty predator, I guess is like the best way to describe it, and just like full nose him down.
Yeah,
I like Alan in this. Honestly, he did like a really good job. You're right. Like he felt like he acted his part really well. Like he felt
Conan O'Brien's hair. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
I just like that everyone wears suits with ties.
Doing like the string dance in the warehouse.
I was gonna say the actor that plays Alan's name is Tony Leung Chiu Wai. And I wanted to shout out his name because he's awesome. I think he did a very good job with this role. And he's so unsuspecting, and I thought he was the bad guy. And we're about halfway through the movie now, and I'm like, he's still the bad guy, but I don't know, something's
not a
up with him.
good guy. Like he's a bad guy, but
yeah,
he understands the things that he does are bad.
He plays the dad in Shang-Chi. Sorry,
Oh.
I was like, why do I know this man's face so much? Yeah. But to be fair, he was hot in that, so like this all comes around.
I mean, I go, like I've seen him. I definitely haven't.
Shang-Chi is actually a really good movie, like one of the good
should.
Marvels. Yeah,
I haven't watched a lot of the modern Marvels, the recent ones.
Okay, but you should watch this one because I think it's really good, and there's a lot of like Dragon Blood style like fighting with elements and
it's a Marvel kung fu movie, which is great. And then also in the zombie Marvel Zombies,
I stopped watching that because of their horrendous use of AI.
They do a good thing with its character in that as well. probably voiced by the actor as well because they used all the real actors for that. But Tequila arrives. He smokes out the place with smoke bombs.
That show. Marvel Zombies gonna eat my butt.
I don't know if the show itself used AI, but
I don't care if they're using it for their fucking promotional material. I'm not gonna fucking watch it.
fair enough.
Sorry,
Watch
Tequila
Shang-Chi.
Rise-
I'm sure Disney will bleed for me not paying their lighting bills.
You're right. You should watch the Shang-Chi movie because it is good.
Mhm.
It's weird.
All right, I'll check
and
out
good.
Shang-Chi. Is that what it's called?
Yes,
Shang-Chi.
yes.
Yeah.
And the Golden Rings or something, I can't remember.
And the Ten Rings.
There we go.
Legend of the Ten Rings, I think it's called. It's got some, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the name of the movie. It's the only Shang-Chi. We've wanted a sequel since the first. It does have Awkwafina in it, who is a little bit, but she's good in it.
Oh, Jason.
Anyway.
Canceled.
I love Aquafina. It's fine.
Cancel for doing black
I don't know
voice.
for
I think.
being. I was gonna say for being racist and misogynistic. I don't know. You take your pick.
Aqua. Oh.
You're not allowed to like anything anymore.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's how it works. That's how I live my
Steven,
life.
next time I see you, I'm going to be like, did you watch it yet? I'm just going to text
All right,
you. Hey.
I'll try to watch it before the next time I see you.
No, no. After
It's.
that.
I assume it's on Disney, right? Plus.
I don't have Disney.
It is.
Anyway. So anyway, yeah, I'll
So he
watch
smokes them
it.
out.
If Tony's in it, I'll watch it.
More amazing shootout cinematography for all this.
More
We
grenades
gotta-
for Mad Dog. There's like at least 2 or 3 scenes in the warehouse scene where he's just playing with grenades.
But there's also
There's one scene where he just mows down a room. He just walks into like a small cubicle room of scientists or something or criminals.
they're
Are
like
they
scientists?
Yeah.
I think they're just wearing lab coats because they're
That's-
dealing with.
I think they're wearing white, sort of like painters' outfits, and it just
Yeah.
for some reason my brain is like, it's a bio room. They're doing biology.
It's
in there.
drugs.
Yeah.
If it was drugs, everyone would be in their underwear. That's what
True.
every drug movie has taught me.
But it's like one of the great things is that, like, you know, he could just walk in and they could all just have squibs in them, but also there's squibs in the boxes, the crates. There's little squibs that have little pieces of paper that fly into the air. So when he shoots, it's like he turns around and it's not done. It's not like everybody just falls over and they're dead. There's like shit still sprinkling in the air, and like everything is just so visually appealing every time something happens. They don't just
think-
make it like a gross or gruesome death. It's like, no, how much can we have going on here so that
All
people
the
are
crazy
just dazzled?
flying around.
Yeah.
I think Hard Boiled needs a counter so then Stephen knows how many squibs are used. And then I also
That'd
think
be
the
incredible.
episode needs a counter of how many times Stephen has said squibs.
Squibby dibby dibby doo.
The squib cut. We do see Mad Dog versus
It's a fun
Tequila.
word.
They 1v1 each other. Alan dual wields during all of this, which is great. So much carnage. I wrote this is a video game. There's the 2 motorcycle explosions in a row, which is great.
I wonder if John Woo was like, all right, we exploded 1 motorcycle, but you know what's better than an exploding motorcycle? 2 exploding.
Exploding.
One going off a
You know
jump
what?
and
Yeah.
getting blown up.
Do you know what probably happened is they had like backup. They had a backup.
Yeah.
Exploding motorcycle.
Like, we got
And the
that
first-
shot.
The first
Perfect.
one worked
Yeah.
right away.
So
They're like,
let's just blow up another one and let's do a different stunt this time. Yeah.
yeah, and
Can
let's
we
see
get this
if like
thing airborne?
maybe one works. They lucked out, both worked. They shoved them both in the movie.
Yeah.
Mad Dog and Alan face off against Tequila in a really good fucking just good stuff. He uses a car for cover.
Thing is, though, I think
Um,
that Alan isn't trying to shoot him, which is cool. And then Mad Dog
Yeah.
is. So it's like Tequila doesn't realize that Alan isn't trying to kill him in that moment but he's like we know that Alan is a very good, he's a crack shot. He could have
Mhm.
shot Tequila probably half a dozen times, but he's holding back to try and give him a chance. And he does. And that's basically how he survives this entire thing Alan is like secretly protecting him.
Well, so there's the rolling car for cover, which I thought was really cool. But there's the smoky moment where Alan and Tequila have their guns to each other's heads, and they both.
No.
Tequila acts like he has no
No.
bullets left.
No,
Tequila
is
does-
out of ammo. Tequila
Tequila
actually
shoots him, and
Yeah.
But he
Tequila
opens
fully
his
pulls
round, and he's got a full.
after.
he
Tequila
dumps them out
shoots
because
his-
they're empty.
Tequila shoots the clip
Oh.
into him, and Alan chooses not to shoot, and he just left out that it was empty. But Alan truly looked like he was perfectly happy to die in that moment. It was like
Well, that-
actually kind of sad. Like I was like, oh no.
That's how I witnessed it, but I didn't realize. Oh yeah, okay. So a revolver shoots the heads of the bullets, and then
Then you
the
have
the
to,
shells
like,
are
fold
still in
them
there,
in.
and you empty them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he
Oh,
opens it
that's-
and empties the case.
yeah,
I
that's-
asked the same question to my partner, and Scott explained it to me because I'm like, but
Okay.
there are bullets.
No,
But yes, and-
you're absolutely right.
And Alan doesn't shoot. And Alan actually just looks like he was so okay to die there. He's like, okay. And then he's got this playful little grin on his face. I was like, you flirt with death, my friend.
Well,
I don't
gives
like what
them-
you're doing.
He gives them the "until we meet again" look.
Yeah. It's and you can tell Tequila's. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because Tequila would have killed if he had one bullet left. He would have.
He would have absolutely killed him, yes.
After shooting
Credits.
9,000 rounds in
Yeah.
that warehouse and not having to reload.
He gets in trouble from the superintendent. He's like, that was my last agent on the inside.
Yeah. You fucking idiot! You're off the case, Tequila.
Give me your
There's a
gun and your
sequence-
badge.
There's a sequence of Alan sort of licking his wounds. He's patching himself up. He's driving his boat. He does an action scream. Ah! For some reason, I guess because he took out his Uncle Hoy.
Yeah, so
Um,
he's still like Uncle Hoy loved him. Basically,
Yeah.
he was one of his
Yeah.
boys and is one of his most trusted boys. To the point that he was like, "Don't trust Foxy because Foxy, I think that he might be up to no good," which he was absolutely correct about. So it's like he was also smart, but he never expected or never suspected him, I should say. So it is sad, and he legitimately liked those guys, but he had to go deeper. He couldn't stay at the level of crime he was in. He had to go deeper. And he had to get to
That's
John.
his job. That was
Yeah.
like what his thing was, right? So it's like anything to get to like
Yeah.
who your true mission is.
And that's
like,
again where the noir aspect of this comes in, is that like he is a morally dubious person who knows that what he's doing is horrible and wrong, but he has to do it in order to like push further into the depths, the seedy underbelly of crime in Hong
feel like-
Kong, China.
I feel like that's definitely the moment where you're like, oh, this guy is the undercover cop. Like I think it's the not shooting him into the screaming, and you're like, oh, you kind of figure it out when Tequila does. So like, well done, John Woo, and this whole story.
I think for me, it was the apprehension to the kill, and also that like maddening face that he has, like you guys are talking about. That's when I was fully like, okay, this guy he's clearly doing something that he doesn't want to do. I think that maybe this is going to be deeper, but yeah, it's so clear at that point that like he doesn't kill the guy that he seemingly was trying to kill, but then you understand, oh, he wasn't. He was trying to give him a chance to live.
Mhm.
It's very cool. Alan's cool, guys. Alan is
Alan's
cooler
cool.
than Tequila.
Alan is even cooler now that I know that he's Shang-Chi's dad.
I'm gonna say
Thank you.
also, Alan looks really good, Steven, as Shang-Chi's dad. So like
Yeah.
he
I
looks
can
good.
imagine.
Like
I can imagine
30
him
something
older.
years later.
Yeah.
So
He's probably
well
got like
done.
silver hair, probably
Yeah.
going on.
Well, he's got like the Reed
The
Richards
temple.
gray.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he probably looks.
Tequila confronts the superintendent about Alan. They have another dust up about sacrifice, and then Alan may be a cop. Tequila does not care what happens to him after his friend died. He fucking yells, "I don't give a shit, I don't care," which is awesome.
Oh yeah, you guys are right. He's hot as hell.
Yeah. And then
I'm looking at an
Warren-
action figure too, and I think he's hot.
oh wow. Like I'd like to manipulate his arms and legs.
How many points of articulation does this thing have?
4.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And he's warned with if he steps at a line again, he's going to be on the unemployment line. You think?
I think that's
it's
not
bad?
true. I think that at this point, if he hasn't been fired, if he steps on the line again, I think he'd get a very strong scolding, and that's about it. I don't even
You
think
step
it would
out
go
of line
on a
again, you're gonna be
permanent
right
record.
back in here for another fucking cessation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
We'll give you access to bigger guns for the next time you drop through the roof of an unsanctioned raid, I guess.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy what Tequila just did against the
warrant.
wishes of a superintendent. No, what? There's no such thing as warrants in China, apparently.
I don't know. In 1992, I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, I don't know how the
Um,
law works anywhere. I don't even know how the law works here. So everything I know about like laws and warrants is all from movies. And shit.
Movies,
All
yeah.
from movies, yeah.
Like I think if I
There's-
hear a gunshot, I can walk it. I
Yeah.
think that's a lot.
There's a meeting with Foxy. They discuss the next moves. Also, Alan and the superintendent meet, and that's where we kind of learn that he's undercover. They laugh maniacally. I thought that this movie was going a different way because I still didn't really put together that Alan was deep undercover. I was like, oh, the superintendent's in on all this, and that's why he didn't want
He's
Tequila digging
dirty.
around. Yeah, he's dirty, but that's not what happens. Alan doesn't know his police life from his gangster life, so this is when I'm like, oh, and he gives him the lighter, and I'm like, what is up with this Pavlov's lighter situation? What's up with this Chekhov's lighter going on
is a
here?
Chekhov
It's definitely
lighter.
coming back somewhere.
It comes back in such a cool way.
Yeah,
It is the coolest. Yeah, I was gonna say check
The quick thinking, like of just like, yeah, it was a very, because it's like, oh, like I'm gonna assume he looks at it at one point and chooses not to do the bad thing, but no.
Yeah,
he
it's a risky
makes it
move though.
cool.
You know,
Yeah.
he's like, I assume this lighter's bulletproof. Well,
He
let's find
kinda-
out.
I think he just rolled the dice, right? He's like, this
Yeah.
guy's either gonna die or not die, and like this is his only hope.
I'll give him a chance.
well, the
yeah.
thing with the white rose at the end could have been done with the lighter also, where it's like, if I give you the lighter, then
Oh,
get
then
all
you know
the
it's
people out of
me.
this hospital. But this lighter comes into play in a few minutes.
The rose thing didn't
Tequila-
make any sense to me because she could have found that at any point, right?
Also,
Like
it's
she
a
could.
hospital. A hospital.
Why
like,
does
you
he
don't think people
sneak it
have
onto her and
roses?
then?
Yeah,
She could have found that too early and started evacuating
Yeah,
people.
you could have been like, "What did you just put in my pocket?" Like immediately. Like, ow! Are there
She could
thorns
have
in that?
Also,
Yeah.
she could have like straight up cold cocked him for touching her part of her body to put the
Yeah.
rose in.
We're
and
not
been like,
together.
What the fuck,
Don't touch
bro?
I broke up with you. Yes,
Yeah.
World Mind. I played the nozzle. We had a sensible laugh. We had a sensible chuckle.
Oh, was that the TikTok? I didn't say that right. Was
that
that,
was
the
the
TikTok?
YouTube video of the Venture Brothers, the nozzle. Remember with the nozzle coming down?
Oh,
I
maybe
don't know
I
if you
didn't
were.
look at it.
I don't know if you were in yet. Tequila tracks down Alan on his boat. This is a great sequence too.
Yeah, this is where Conan O'Brien dies.
He gets shot in the back with a shotgun pellet.
He's fine.
He's
This
not
is
fine.
Dives into the
Fucked up.
water.
He has to go to the hospital. He's all
Yes,
fucked
but
up.
he doesn't even get fixed before he's out and running around.
He was
So we-
already shot in the front like minutes,
Yes.
like 15 a day ago, I guess.
Yeah,
in
we
the
did have a
world
whole
of the
scene with
movie.
him like half shirtless with his like bloody situation. Yeah. Sorry, we can go back to the start of this scene. It's he got shot with a shotgun.
It is a
Yeah.
cool scene where he realizes somebody's on his boat. He's got like spider senses basically, but too slow. Bad reflexes. They're
He's
not
got
spider-
Alan senses.
Yeah. Tequila pins him, but does the same thing that he did to him in the warehouse, which is he's got the gun cocked and he uncocks it. And he's, let's have a conversation. See what's going on here, man. And they have their back and forth where not everything is revealed, but enough is revealed, kind of thing.
I like when he's like, "Can we ever be friends?" Like,
Yeah.
never.
Not happening, pal. I do
Because
also
we're
think that-
family. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't-
I think the writing here is also particularly cool. I like the imagery with the cranes, but I also like the imagery with the music. They both have something that they have to do when someone dies. One of them is that they're both tragic, but one of them is as a result of death, and the other one is as a result of causing death, which is pretty cool. Even though they're basically doing the same job, just at different levels.
and
you-
both
you
says
got-
like a memory, right? Like it's to be able to remember. I think
Yeah.
like the death or the person.
Yeah, and it's interesting that one is sort of like they're both tragic, but one is tragic because you're mourning loss, where the other one is like you're punishing yourself for causing like destruction and death, which is pretty cool. I think it's just like it's well done in terms of like poetic
Symmetry and
symmetry.
yeah.
And I think I like it. I think I like it, guys.
Did anyone look up how to make a paper crane after?
No,
Okay, so that was just me.
I
Yeah.
knew how to do it at one point. I feel like in grade school I would have been able to. I used to have an origami book that came with the pieces you rip out. I got to make some origami at one point, but I had to follow very specifically the instructions.
It's
I knew
hard.
how to make the fortune teller. You know,
Yes.
I put
Nerd.
fart on all of them. Fart. It's so stupid. But yeah, he does notice the paper cranes, and we find out they're for the kills he's done. And I wrote he's a James Bond villain because I'm still stupid. I'm like, oh yeah, he's this is his thing. This is James Bond thing. But Tequila does want to work together. Tequila writes. We find out that Tequila writes funeral songs, much like he has the cranes. And the goons are slowly descending on this boat. And
Goons.
they shoot Alan.
Who's there? Goons.
Hi, goons.
Hi, goons.
And just for my clarity, it is Mr. Hoy's.
Yeah.
Like it's his
Conan,
previous
yeah.
boss's
Conan
people.
O'Brien.
Okay.
He's there. It's because a couple of them survived the machine gun attack in
Mhm.
the warehouse, and Conan O'Brien is the main one at this point.
Shoots down the
I
little
did
window
appreciate
thing.
that they all of his henchmen. They tried to give everybody sort of like an affectation visually, so that you could tell the difference between everybody quite easily. And like to me, I'm like Conan O'Brien here, perfect choice. Every time I see that guy, I'm like, it's Conan, he's back.
It's Conan O'Brien, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a
So-
shotgun.
This
And he
was
does shoot him.
confusing because then Johnny's guys show up.
To protect him,
Yeah.
maybe. Or because they were following him. It's hard to say.
It
But
might
Alan's
be a-
also going to
He
use
punches one of his boat walls and pulls out a bunch of guns. It reminded me at the beginning where the guy smashed the bird cage and pulled out guns. I was like, there are guns everywhere.
He's got a whole wall.
Let's
full of
start punching holes in things to see if we find guns.
I just
my
yeah.
But only in China. And maybe
Only
the
in
United
boats.
States.
Boats and
And
bird
boats.
cages.
Birds and boat
And
cages.
library books.
And library books, actually. You know what?
They're
It's becoming
everywhere.
clear they're everywhere, yeah.
But the
Usually
ones
it's a
in the-
Bible.
The ones in the books have silencers because the libraries want you to be really quiet when you murder.
You can get in trouble if you make too much noise at a library. So
So Alan's going to send a paper crane to communicate.
okay, wait. But
Um,
before, are we still on the boat scene? With
We
the
can be.
fighting? Okay, I just think it's very funny that at the end, because this really tickled me, they went to say goodbye and he said the paper crane thing, and then Tequila turned and he dove into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dove
Climb
into
over.
the water,
Yeah.
and that's how he got away.
Mhm.
So he didn't run, he dove. It really tickled me. I'm like, cool. So he's in the marina. All I could picture was him coming out of like the dock next to it and like kind of shuffling forward.
Or
Well, you
just
do
like-
see him like in the water, like doing this one again, just from around the side of the bottom of a
you just have to hide.
pier.
And then
Oh.
he murders Conan. He shoots Conan
Mhm.
like.
He says like traitor or something and he gets shot.
Yeah,
Right
he's
back.
like, you called the fucking cops. And then because he already shot him, I think 10 times, so he had to shoot him 7 more times in order to make sure that he was dead.
17's the magic number, Steven.
That
We
is,
learned.
it is, yeah. He kills him, and this is where you kind of start to see a little bit of Johnny be a bit suspicious, where he's kind of like, this seems all very convenient, but holy shit, this is cool. You killed all these guys. They're now finally all dead. We're the kings of
Yeah, we were
Hong
looking
Kong.
for them. Yeah.
yeah. What happens after this? You said you already mentioned it. He said that like the method of communication will be a crane, which is when they're in the hospital, they send a crane in to what's his name, Stinky, Felix, Foxy. Yeah, there we go.
I think is it now when we go to the bar? Because there is like a cutaway scene where he's
Oh,
in the,
yeah.
yes. I think he goes to the bar and he's talking to
This is where John Woo gives him some words of wisdom and tells him like, there's something more to this than you're not seeing, and like people have different sides, different angles, and not everything is what it seems on the surface. He's trying to get him to open up his eyes a little bit more clearly. But yeah, he's basically the wizened bartender, where he's like clearly a little bit older, but he's not like.
I loved it. Yeah. Also, I didn't realize at first it was the jazz bar, and then I was like, "Oh no, this is the same bar from the beginning. Like this is his like hangout spot." And he's just here being like, "This is my bar," cleaning his little glasses, giving information and advice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what happens next.
Thank you.
Right before that scene that you're talking about, the hospital. They show the hospital. There's so many babies. Mad Dog shows up, tells the nurse not to leave his records. They discuss the fox.
During
Then-
this part, Danny was like, "I did not need to see all of those babies' testicles."
Yeah, there's too many baby parts.
Why are there babies? The focus on the babies, I was like, interesting. Okay, we're just like really, most people are not going to be like, let's do a crazy
I think
hospital.
I think that it's meant to show, because we eventually figure out what they're doing at this hospital, but it's meant to show sort of like the fragility of what is in this place, as well as the depths of which these bad men are willing to go in order to achieve their goal, which is like they have no care for anything or anyone, including the most precious thing, the most innocent and
fragile,
and
at a high
things
level
that need to be protected, but they don't give a shit, right?
But that at a high level, yes, all of that, but like it really all distills down into getting Chow Yun-fat with a baby sidekick who helps save the day.
I don't know how true this is, and I found it was on Wikipedia. I was just like reading through. I was like, give me information of this movie. Apparently, originally in the script, the villain was a baby poisoning psychopath villain.
Are you
in my
kidding
head?
me? Right?
I'm like, he just really wanted to keep babies in the movie, because apparently the response was like, hey, people don't really like people that poison babies.
Yeah, that's a little heavy, John.
I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Again, I don't know the accuracy. I just am. That's a Wikipedia thing.
Right.
I
mean, do you think if Mad Dog was poisoning babies,
I think it would have been Johnny. I think it was Johnny who was poisoning babies.
Johnny is already so shitty.
Yeah.
Was there a reason? I would have loved to know. If that was the original idea, I would have loved to know the reasoning behind Baby Boy. But yes, the babies were.
Sometimes you're trying to like think of the most evil possible thing, and that's what it is. But I mean, I think it accomplishes the same goal, which is like these guys have so little regard for human life, including that which needs to be protected the most, which is things that can't protect themselves, which are babies.
Sick people and babies. They're literal sick people. Yeah.
True. But you already have Johnny who like hates police and will just kill police, but then to go to that place, like to go to that level, he'll kill civilians. That's enough.
Yeah.
But he doesn't care about babies, Jason. He doesn't give a fuck about babies.
Or their eardrums.
Yeah. Or their eardrums. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somebody think of the children's eardrums, please. We also need
to just stick some cotton in their ears.
Babies down from the third floor via SWAT members.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got questions about that.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot. But have we done the part where Fox gets hurt?
This is where we're at right now.
Okay,
so Mad Dog kills or heavily injures Fox. They're on that bridge. Alan kills him as he's about to blab stuff, because he's like, some people are more undercover and you don't know until you do. And then Alan has already put the thing in his pocket. He
shit kicks him a little bit first.
He shit kicks him so he can.
Shit kicks him real good.
Yeah, he beats the shit out of him and then puts the little lighter in his pocket.
And then shoots the lighter.
Shoots him. Yeah.
Imagine he shot the lighter and it exploded into a ball of flame.
Well, with the rules of this movie, they should have exploded and blown everybody up.
Do you know what's so crazy? Like things that are a bit easier to be like, hey, if it was in a pocket, like a flask. We've seen movies where like a flask is stuff, a Bible.
Or a Bible.
Yeah. It's a tiny lighter that he just somehow is like, it's probably right there.
There's like no butane in it. It's just like an empty lighter. He smoked it all out. He's
but it
like,
doesn't even go through. It's just dented.
Dings
so, like,
it.
Really
and he does show up at the hospital or at the bar, the wizened bartender's bar, jazz bar. Very beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
I was confused here.
He needs to go to the hospital. That's how badly. He needs to get in a wheelchair. Yeah.
Because John Woo kind of looked like his old. So here's something that I rewatched this scene a couple times because it's got a confusing moment. I thought that it was possible that this bartender was being hallucinated by Tequila as sort of like a guardian angel.
I hear when you drink too much tequila, you hallucinate John Woo.
Yeah. Because I thought it was his partner who died for a second. And then when Fox comes in all fucked up, and then in the next scene he's in the hospital and Tequila goes to see him, I thought also Fox was astral projecting himself to be like, I'm at Maple Hospital.
You made this
fuck? Why did you think
more
all this?
magical than it
I
actually-
rewatched the scene 3 times. before
I
was
watched the
like,
scene once, and I didn't at any point think there was a fucking ghost in the scene.
I thought there was 2 ghosts.
I know, you thought somebody was astral projecting themselves.
I thought he was
Across
talking
Hong
to his
Kong?
dead partner, and I was like, oh, there's like a mystical thing happening here.
I mean, I also
Um,
am very aware of what John Woo looks like, so every time he pops on, I get
Right.
excited. I'm like, "Oh,
Yes,
John Woo."
you're like, hello.
Yeah. So I knew that they weren't the same person.
But Fox ends up in the hospital. You're like, phew, I'm so glad Fox is under police protection. But then what you learn is police protection is bullshit.
That
And
doesn't
Yeah,
Yeah.
the police,
they were too busy gapping between themselves to do
the
anything about
security
it.
guards in this are insane, or I guess police.
To
But
be fair, it
also,
was Tequila. Tequila was the one
Yeah.
that was
we all
watching
know
him.
that he is unhinged. Yeah, and he's also very paranoid at this point. You're like, when's the last time Tequila slept? I doubt he's had a wink of sleep since that crazy inhaling all that gas in the warehouse or whatever, the gas that he launched.
That he
in
put
there.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I also put together that Alan put the thing in his pocket, so that's how he survived, even though he's all fucked up. Teresa's there. She sees Alan go in with the bouquet gun, which I like later when Tequila's like, "That's the most obvious thing you could have done. White roses in a box. Like you couldn't have thought of a better way to sneak a gun into a hospital. It's so obvious." But
That was John Woo being like, I don't want James Cameron to think I'm biting his style. Even this does remind me of a James Cameron movie in a lot of ways, though, too.
just yeah, because that's the Terminator when he has the.
It just
shotgun
also
and
has a
the
similar
roses
vibe
box,
in terms
right?
of the cinematography.
Yeah.
Especially in the hospitals sequence.
Except this is superior to Terminator, in my opinion. Like action
Really?
scene wise.
Terminator 2?
Maybe not Terminator 2, like cinematography wise.
Well, that's the one with the roses, Jason.
Okay, sorry. But actions. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, because when he's walking down the hallway to the guy who has the.
I think they're
brain.
different kinds of action. Whereas like
Yeah.
James Cameron is all about like practicality and like, but also like I want it to be react in ways that things should react in while also still being a spectacle. Whereas John was like, I don't give a shit about physics.
I don't
I
give
want
a
it to
shit.
look
I'm gonna
cool.
shoot. I'm gonna
Yeah.
shoot this cloth screen and it's gonna burst into flames. Which happens
Logically,
later.
shooting a room full of people wouldn't cause all of these phone books to explode, but I'm going to do it anyway.
We've got all these exploded phone book parts. So.
Right. I watched Terminator 2 recently, so my bad on forgetting. I was imagining Terminator 1 Terminator doing the same move it's a much darker toned movie and a much darker filmed movie. Anyway, so that's how I
I
imagined it.
watched Terminator when I was really, really tired, and Sarah Connor's face really freaked me out.
Yeah.
Like really, really freaked me out. And since then, I haven't been able to rewatch it.
The first one or the second one? I mean, she's
I
pretty-
don't know which one it was. I was with Scott, and it like actually terrified me. Like at one point, looked like a monster, and I was like, I gotta stop.
sounds
Were you on
you're having
mushrooms?
sleep paralysis
I
moment.
was on something.
Okay.
Yeah,
That-
it freaked
that
me
track.
out. So
Um,
I need a break before I dive back in there.
She's got sharp features, I will say.
Yes, and yeah, and when they stretch out, you're like, oh no.
Stretch it. Okay. So Johnny orders Alan to kill him and also his additional guys, just in case.
Well, I think
So-
he volunteers, as he often does in this movie, to be the one to do it because he doesn't want to kill him. But Johnny this time does not trust him and tells the guys to follow him,
Mhm.
which is cool,
Smart.
but also it's smart. It shows
Smart
that
on Johnny's part. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny, he's not a dummy, but he's done some dumb things up to this point. Like trust this man who he barely knows. But at this point, he clearly doesn't trust him. We get some cool hospital hijinks where it's like the crane comes, they know to move Foxy, they do move Foxy, but then they decide to have a little heated
Oh
argument.
wow, yes.
Yeah, leaving Foxy alone, who's freaking the fuck out. And as he tries to escape in his wheelchair, he has a crazy neck slice moment where so much blood fills that hallway.
Did you notice that spray on the window on the other side was kind of like Halloween Resurrection from a few weeks ago? That same like I know it's a pretty common like spray,
Mm.
but it was very horror movie, and this movie kind of had like Mad Dog had horror elements to him throughout this movie. He was very like when he wanted to do something, you couldn't stop him. And this is one of those moments. This is one of those sequences where he finds him and he cuts his throat. And then when they finally go looking for Foxy, they find the room and there's blood footprints everywhere. They've clearly jammed him down a like a disposal
It's like a laundry
closet
chute.
or something, or a laundry chute. And the blood, there's like
It's
a blood
everywhere.
streak out the door. And then those police goons are like cleaning it up. And somebody comes over and they're like, "What happened here?" And they're like, "Don't worry about it." They're just cleaning so hard.
He's just like, shut up, get back to work.
Yeah.
Also, to be fair, like I was really sad that they failed Foxy that way and he died. But like, fast forward like 5-10 minutes, he would have been dead anyways. That place
Yeah.
gets
True.
fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have gotten blown up
Yep.
like a phone book. But also that little dust up that Tequila and Alan have is funny too, because he's like, "Really, dude, you send so many roses to Teresa, like you're so unoriginal. Like, what are you doing?" I thought that
He
was
likes
funny.
them.
Yeah,
That's literally his answer. He's like, I like them. It's
I like them.
fuck up,
Also,
I like them.
white roses are meant to be like, it's like purity. It's generally, I think, just anything white, right? Like it's innocence is like a
Mhm.
big one as well. So maybe something there.
Right. Yeah.
He wants to feel clean.
Alan and Tequila in pursuit of Mad Dog, and they kind of lose him. We have Teresa Cop. I kept writing Lady Cop because I didn't get her name till later, but Teresa looks at babies. Teresa tells them about the secret James Bond lair under the hospital. Oh shit, Alan is the suitor. I already just kind of mentioned that. This kind of I wrote, installing a love triangle here was a bold choice with everything already going on. This feels like a TV show, but it is not really. There's no consequence to it because
It's also not really a love triangle. Like she's never actually met Alan.
Yeah.
So
Just sending
she's
flowers,
just
yeah.
received notes and roses from
I
him
the,
for
the
like
way I was like,
messages.
yeah, the way I was, I don't know why I thought this. I was like, he's sending the roses because he feels bad that the cop died. That's what I thought they were for, and I don't know why my brain
okay.
was doing this. And but they kept sending them to her by accident or something. Or like,
It's the woman in the office gets
Yeah,
the
must be
flowers,
for
so
her.
obviously it has
Yeah.
to go to her.
I feel like it was just like a previously established way to get messages, but then still like sending cops to or sending roses to a police station, whether or not you're sending it to the only lady in it or not, kind of suspicious. Like if
Yeah,
you,
for
I don't
sure.
know.
But the
Not
thing
good
is like a
policing.
woman was bringing the roses to Teresa as well. So
no, it's
another
the roses were to get the messages. And he needed
Right.
a cover, and so he's just like, I'll choose one woman and always send it to this
Oh,
because
I
it'd be weird if he was sending it to every woman. That's
Yeah.
almost weirder. Yeah,
Kind of like faux suitor, but not actually. I think maybe
Yeah.
I think maybe Teresa and Tequila broke up for other reasons. I don't think it had anything
Tequila
to
seems like he's
do
probably
with.
a pretty.
I think he'd
intense-
be a tough boyfriend.
Yeah,
I don't know
but
if
their
I wanna live with
relationship is
Tequila.
confusing even here because at one point he's like, "Get my girlfriend," which might have
I
been like
don't
either a
think
miss.
Tequila's the type of guy that would take being broken up with in like a
Okay.
normal way. I think
Yeah.
I think there's vibes there that like
he doesn't
That'd
do
be-
anything in a normal way. So what makes you?
He also
think
never kisses her. There's like an embrace. They have a hug. I think he kisses her on like the forehead, maybe not even.
with
They
the
only went
baby.
on one date. No,
They
Just like,
never
"This is my
actually
girlfriend
lived
now."
together. He just assumed right off the bat and he gave up his apartment. And she's like, "Bro, no."
yeah. He was
Well,
like,
I
"Fuck,
don't.
I don't know where to live though.
I don't know if I went over it or we didn't get to it, but it's revealed that like she's like, "Take your stuff, take your underwear."
She does
Yeah.
say take her, but I think that might have been a dub. I don't know if that's the real. I'm hoping that's not the real.
I don't
Those are a
remember if it was
package.
that or not, but yeah, it's like a package of stuff, but it could be anything. Yeah, but she
Take your
does say
underwear.
take your underwear. Yeah.
Yeah. Alan and Tequila fight their way to the secret lair. Teresa meets with the police crew who have taken all the roles over in the whole hospital, apparently. That's something I love about
Easily.
this movie. It happened in the tea house as well, where they look around and everybody who runs the place is the police.
Yeah.
Really
I was
funny.
wondering if like those were, security officers that they had paid off or if they were replaced. It could be either, but
Well,
we
I
don't
think
really
I think
know.
the people in the police outfits were replaced by goons, but then the people who work at the hospital were replaced by
There was like such
police.
a switcheroo, yes.
By
Because at
police.
one point Alan was in a cop uniform, but by being in a cop uniform, you were automatically like not actually a cop, you were a bad guy. And then all the
Exactly.
bad guys were dressed up wearing a badge, being like, no, I'm actually a good guy.
I kind of
Very
like
confusing.
how confusing it was, though. Like it
Yes,
made it
you
it
didn't
made it 10
know.
times more chaotic at the end.
Yeah.
It's
Also-
all- and
Oh, go
Let's
for
go
it.
ahead. I was gonna say, and it also adds to the fact that like it made me think of like the Dark Knight, where like the movie thinks we're so fucking stupid
Yeah.
that we're not going to be able to understand what's going on, so we have Lucius Fox explaining everything to us over Batman's headset or whatever. We're like, the bad guys are dressed like good guys, and the good guys are dressed like bad guys. Like,
And you're
okay, we
like-
get it. Yeah, we could have figured that out, Lucius. Thank you. Whereas
I
this
think they
movie's
just
like
wanted us
doesn't
to hear
matter.
Morgan Freeman's voice.
Probably. I've
Morgan
only been
Freeman
in
should have been in this
for
movie.
7 minutes. I need to be in at least 45 more seconds, please.
Yeah.
To get paid. I think it's also just like for this one with the different outfits and everything too. It's like Alan freaks out so much when he's like, I killed a cop. That guy was a cop. But like everybody was so topsy-turvy that like
Yeah.
you just, if you saw someone, you shot them. And that is again
Mhm.
very video gamey style.
Yeah.
Like
It's like being at Laser
Working.
Quest.
yes, exactly. You see someone, you shoot them because the alternative is they shoot you.
Yeah.
And that I think is acceptable. And
Right.
for Alan, it was so shocking. Not shocking, but I was like surprised that that was like a crazy moment where he was like breaking down from it. Because I'm like, how many like you just shot so many people. A cop doesn't have like a special like layer of shooting where you're like, oh no, now I've done something bad.
I'm cold. I'm gonna go put on a bigger sweater. I'll be right back.
All right.
It's winter.
It is winter now. Alan and Tequila look at the records in the morgue. They go into the morgue. They find these records. They find these weird spaces in the records that are like, oh, these numbers clearly line up with the numbers on the morgue doors.
I love it.
opening.
Detectives. Sorry,
Yeah,
inspectors.
they're doing detective work finally. And they determine that the hatches are the entrance to the underground lair. And I gotta say, this goes towards what I'm saying about this being having a James Bond layer to it, because when they go down into this James Bond-esque layer, it looks like every single James Bond layer that I've ever seen in my life. There's like
Underwater
cold-
in ice.
yeah, it's cold steel doors, cold steel walls. I think there's some exposed rock.
And very
stuff.
suspicious
You
looking.
guys talking
pipes.
about the crazy Resident Evil hallway that they go down?
Or the Resident Evil is a good one. At the end of Resident Evil 2, when you go down into the lair, it looks a lot like this.
I like this shit. It made me. I like that they slowed everything down for a couple of beats just to be like, now they're trapped and they have
Yeah.
to figure out how to get out of this hallway. And
Well,
they both
it's
have
great,
different
too.
methods of getting out, and they get mad at each other because he's like, one of them's trying to figure it out technically, and the other's like, I'll just blow it up.
The door, the big like closed locked door into the layer of guns and shit.
It's basically like a
Well,
vault door. Yeah.
He does sort of like a MacGyver move
he
here
sciences
too.
it. Don't say is MacGyver science? I don't know. MacGyver's before my time. I don't-
I'm sure there are elements of science in.
In
It's
1992, in 1992, MacGyver was top of mind for everybody for what he does here. He's
It was
pulling like
absolutely incredible.
gunpowder. He's pulling wires.
Like,
He's
shut
he's
up.
he's looking at the situation, and they end up having a conversation about the situation, but they're unloading gunpowder into like a piece of cloth that they stuff into this like this pipe that I guess has wires inside it to open the door. And then we get this weird moment where he jams a bullet in, and then Tequila is like, I gotta take the shot, but then he freezes and he's like, ugh. But then he locks in and it goes into basically bullet time a little
Crack
bit.
shot.
Like it's slow mo.
Also, you have to remember that for later. He's a crack
You have
shot.
to remember that
Yeah.
for later.
He
Yeah,
goes
it's a
in.
crack
It's
shot.
like a Deadeye moment where like
Yeah.
he doesn't. It's when you're like shooting from the hip almost, where he doesn't spend a long time
You
aiming.
can't
He just-
aim. It has to be like a feeling, right? Like just like a
He has to
I think that
imagine
was-
when he's doing that. He has to imagine that he's sliding down a banister and and motorcycles flying through the air at him. That's how
There needs to be a sense of danger around him for him to get the shot.
to be a good shot. Yeah.
But
It's
I
like,
think
Alan,
that-
scream at me, please, while I do this.
just punch me in the face a bunch.
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing is he does it.
He does.
And this sticks in my head so much. It doesn't do what they expect it to do.
No.
And then all that's left is a bunch of exposed wire. Alan does take one for the team and does like a crazy little thing there and like
Yeah.
electrocutes himself and it opens the door. But all I could think was like, hey, if all it took was like really fucking up the wires, I don't know if a crazy gunpowder into the thing, into a crack shot was really necessary.
No. Also, like, what did you think was going to happen? The door is just going to
The
open?
door would open.
Yeah. Why would you think that?
Or whatever
Not in
mag locks
Star
for
Wars.
holding the door closed
Yeah.
would just like unlatch and they'd be able to just like push
Maybe
it
it'll open
apart.
it up. Yeah, it's like Star Wars
literally
Lock Pick,
see,
where
like-
you can like
Yeah.
you blast a door panel and it will open a door, but you also blast a door panel.
Star
and it
Wars.
locks the door. Yeah, Star
Star
Wars.
But on that Star
When we
Wars
play
note,
Star Wars
literally,
D&D, it's 50-50 on a dice whether it locks or opens.
on all of these same notes, we literally see Mad Dog in a few minutes shoot a panel to lock and close the door.
Yeah.
So
This is
who
all
knows
Star
what
Wars
the
logic.
rules are.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is James Bond, noir, hard-boiled Star Wars all together at
This
last.
is gonna be a
Finally.
bad. No, I won't ask.
But Tequila does give him CPR, and he wakes up, and then Mad Dog shows up, and they have a shootout at pretty close range.
This is one of those
Um,
things where like, so I used to have to take CPR classes all the time because I used to be a camp counselor, and so when you take CPR training, they basically tell you like, yeah, when you're doing CPR, you are breaking all of the person's ribs and
Ribs.
pumping their heart. So like anytime
And there aren't a lot of protections for you as the person saving a person's life for breaking
gonna
their
break their
ribs if they
sternum.
choose to sue you or anything. Yeah.
Yep. And it's like, you know, because I was working with kids, I also had to learn how to do it on like a child dummy. And it's like, you're not pressing hard enough. I'm like, I don't want to hurt the baby dummy. Just feeling bad about crushing the
They're
fucking
very
fake child's
breakable
ribs.
baby ribs. Yeah,
Yeah.
or child ribs.
Anyway, so anytime I see a
Cut the
movie
face off the dummy and wear it as her own face.
anytime
Like,
I see a movie where somebody's getting CPR and then they're up and about afterwards, I'm like, no, you'd be like, my fucking ribs are
my
broken.
ribs are broken. Yeah.
They maybe
But-
didn't need true CPR to get back going, you know?
He should have just hopped back up. Like,
Yeah.
come on, Alan, it's only
Did it keep up?
17 times.
But like I feel like him doing that too is kind of like Alan is pretty fatalistic. Like Alan is just kind of like this job will kill me.
He's the
And
noir
at this
character.
point I'm ready to die. Yeah.
He's been ready to die so many times.
Yes.
Alan has almost died. I think it was the third near-death experience he's had in this movie.
Yeah.
But like
Also-
actively seeking it out kind of experience.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Well,
just
remember
kinda
when
like,
he's
yeah, go for
in
it.
his convertible?
This isn't even the second to last near-death experience he even has.
Mm-mm.
Sorry, Steve.
I was gonna make a joke. The moment is past. I cannot make the joke any longer.
Stomped
Sorry.
all over it with my dumb face. They have a shootout with Mad Dog, and they find a crazy room with all the artillery. At that point, Teresa does find the rose in her pocket that we mentioned, and they get ready to evacuate. Then we get Terminator versus Alan and Tequila. Close range, baby. Two things I hate: effing cops and creeps who betray their bosses. Then it just cuts so hard to upstairs, to people like running around.
Evacuating. Hopefully.
Evacuate. Yeah, it's also, again, we already talked about it, but her finding the rose and she's like, oh my god, what if she never found the rose? She would have never got a signal. I guess maybe alarms would have started going off when they blew everything up, but
Also, part of me is like, would it have been better? Like, would less people have died if they didn't try to evacuate and go to like Code Red as like
Yeah.
a baddie
Lockdown.
organization?
lockdown procedure. I mean, the bad guys were trying to not kill people, but then once they realized cops were everywhere, that's when things changed. They were just trying to corral everybody at first, right? Like
Yeah.
that was sort of what they were doing. And then they
All
went
I-
into full mass.
I was gonna say, all I remember is like a bunch of doctors, nurses, patients running outside, and bad guys at the windows, like leaning outside the windows, just like fully mowing people down.
Yeah, I mean they were because those are cops, but I'm talking about the inside people. Even Matt, is it Mad Dog that's like, why don't you just let the
Let
patients
them
go?
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have all the cops. We can just keep them hostage. And
No, that he
Yeah.
literally says like,
Mad Dog
you
wants
hate
that.
cops, you don't hate civilians, you don't hate people who you're like
Babies.
keeping hostage. You don't hate
Yeah.
hostages.
the
He's
funniest
like,
part
I-
was like during all this madness, like they break into like a surgery and like an ongoing.
Yes, and the guy refuses to stop his
And
surgery.
he's like, stop. He's
which-
like, no,
No.
I can't.
Also,
I'm
Well,
gonna die.
The
was gonna
truest
ask you
form of
guys.
somebody in like a Hippocratic oath being like, no, my duty is to the patient that I'm working on right now. Like, you can go fuck yourself.
But I was going to ask you guys, if you unload a clip next to an open fucking chest, that's got to be bad, right?
I don't know. I
I
don't.
mean, probably, but you know what
It's
else is
not
bad? Getting
sterile.
shot 17 times. Like everybody's getting fucking blasted.
There's like, obviously surgery rooms are meant to be like, operating rooms are meant to be highly sterile spaces. I think the moment someone busted in being like, fucking get out of here, like ready to
Well,
shoot.
this guy has 14
Compromised.
infections now. Thanks a lot, mister.
So Mad Dog gets an AK and starts going ham. I wrote this is wild. Johnny wants to gas the basement. And while this is all happening, he does gas the basement. Mad Dog gets out by, like I said earlier, he opens the door, shoots the panel so it closes behind him, and the boys are stuck. Upstairs, Johnny's gang starts terrorizing the hospital and literally kills so many patients, just fucking going crazy. And that's what we were just talking about with the surgery. If you unload a bullet next to an open body during surgery, that has to be bad. And then I wrote fucking pandemonium. Police show up and reveal themselves. Johnny is going to fight his way out as his last stand. He wants to, I'm fighting my way out of here sort of situation. And then there's that really funny sequence where a goon goes into the place with the babies, and he's yelling at her, and he slaps her in the face, but she's already taken a gun off like a dead guy on the ground, and she shoots him at point blank like 4 times, and he gets blasted away.
She's in mom mode. She's protecting those babies.
Yeah,
Does she do a good job? I honestly don't know.
It's hard.
I don't know.
It
She
took
gets
her
slapped.
about like
Yeah.
30 minutes of active shooting to be like, let's put cotton balls in their ears so their
Yeah.
hearing doesn't get messed up.
The machine guns might hurt their eardrums. They're sensitive freaking ears. Also,
Their hearing is shot. Their hearing is gone.
Yeah, all those babies hard of hearing.
At one point, they just start picking the babies up out of their containers. I don't know what they're called, so I'm going to call them containers.
It's a baby
And
container.
they're just saying, like, she's just saying, we got to get these babies out of here. I can 100% guarantee you, they do not put those babies back in the right containers.
Oh,
No, and oh
Everybody
man,
gets one baby.
It truly, when that was happening, I was sitting there, I could not stop laughing. I'm like, babies don't have like toe tags on them, right? Like, that's why they're in these containers, because they, like, babies look the same. They all look like squishy little wrinkly things. And then they're just taking them out and then end up putting them back in. And I'm like, you're not putting the babies in the right containers.
they put them back into like artillery bags too.
People are also going home with the wrong babies if they're going home with a baby at all. At one point, they take the bins of babies and they start stacking them on top of other
Oh god,
bins
yeah.
of
When they
babies.
started stacking, I'm like,
Yeah, I was gonna
You know,
ask you guys, how many baby casualties do you think there were?
Zero. I do
Also,
think like zero,
Tequila
we did not
walks
see it.
into the nursery and says, "There's hundreds of there must be 100 babies in here." There aren't. It's movie magic, but
I
you're
think
right.
It's being, he was just exaggerating.
I think there's like minimum 30 babies.
Yeah.
Minimum. Like they were arranged like
He
like,
said
it
there's
looked
hundreds
like,
of them, but there
I
are.
think Jesus
He was
crazy.
just
but
fucking.
yeah.
He was like, "How are we gonna?" I think what he meant to say was, "How the fuck are we gonna carry 30 babies?"
They do try taking them out the window and he gets shot so much and he's just holding the baby.
That
and I'm
one
like,
guy,
this is bad.
Well,
But as soon
right,
as they
right
started
before
stacking
that,
the babies on that cart, and like, and they go like an inch, and I'm like, "Do not go down the hallway with those baby stacks, please."
It was
One
like
at a time,
IKEA.
people.
It was like, you know, the IKEA like crate things you can stack on top, like they fit. That's
Yeah.
sort of how these baby things fit as well. Like they Legoed on top of each other.
they Legoed on top of each other. That's hilarious.
Oh no.
Right before all that happens, though, Tequila goes into Rambo/MacGyver mode, and they plan their escape. Meanwhile, Johnny talks to Alan over the camera intercom system, and Johnny shoots the camera, and it explodes.
Just like everything else that gets shot in this movie.
Not a lighter.
Not a
But
lighter.
the camera, yes.
Only a
More
lighter survives a gunshot. Everything else is obliterated.
More pandemonium in the hospital. There's a rocket launcher guy who shows up for like a minute, shoots
Yeah.
like 3 rockets, and that's
Blows
it.
up a car.
Yeah. We get a little bit of Alan's origin story while Tequila and Alan are making their way through the building. He wanted to be a cop, but only undercover was available. So he went too deep undercover. He literally just wanted to be a police officer.
I feel like
and
that cannot be how it works. Like you can't
Yeah.
just
No.
show up and be like, I want to be undercover. Like because
Well,
undercover
it looks like
work
all
is
we
like,
have is meter
basi-
maid and
it's
Yeah.
basically like you have to probably go through like a bunch of different psychological evaluations and also tests to ensure that you aren't going to like break or like join the bad guys for real or like there's
I
probably
also-
so many things you have to do.
I was really interested in this because I'm like, I can't imagine that you go through, I'm going to call it cop school. I don't know what the actual term is.
It's called the police academy.
police academy.
So cop
Go away.
school, it's the
Yeah.
same thing. So you go through the police academy, and I was like, there's no way that you go through the police academy and then you have to apply for a police job. Like, I think you go through the police academy, you graduate, and you automatically have a job. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's
your
like a
place is
placement.
different.
Yes.
It's like a school, yeah.
Exactly. So then when I think it's one of the only jobs or schoolings you go through where you're literally guaranteed a job at the end. So I did find it very interesting when he was like, the only thing available was undercover work.
Mm.
Because I'm like, damn, Alan, like I think maybe you got scammed. Like
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
they were like, hey, you seem like you'd be really good undercover, so we'll just like put you there.
We're gonna put you there, yeah. There's nothing else, man. He's like, but I just want to direct traffic and passionate about it. No, you're really good at keeping secrets, brother.
Yeah.
Considering they wouldn't fire Tequila, I think they're keeping a lot of unnecessary bad inspectors on.
They need to defund the police in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a bad situation. How many people are undercover? How many of the guys that they killed, like accidentally, were also undercover on like a
That
side?
literally
their side
happened.
quest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so many, yeah.
How about this sequence though? When they bust out of
Half
the
the
morgue,
babies are undercover cops, I bet.
In training.
we're introduced to the idea of there's so much C4 in this building that we're just gonna C4 all the way down. And they bust out. He touches a wall and he's like, "It must be the morgue on the other side." And they bust through that wall. But when they bust through, they both slide out on doors and are shooting with like double guns. Awesome.
Yeah, almost as awesome as when he's like zipping around on like a gurney with his silenced pistol, just like like squeaking
See,
through
I
the
think this
hallway.
is what Stephen was saying earlier. Like it was a very long, incredibly, I think one of the longest action sequences I've ever had to sit through in a movie.
Yeah.
But they did keep it interesting. Like it was
And there's
constantly
enough moment to breathe and to like let you
Yeah.
calm down for a second,
With the
change the pacing
babies.
of what's happening. Yeah. Also in the video game Stranglehold, that was one of like the big game mechanics is you could dive and land on like a food cart or
and a
whatever and
table.
like, like shoot around you as you're going through a hallway.
Which I'm excited to try out. Mad Dog tries to reason with Johnny. He you only hate cops, leave the hostages. Alan and Tequila keep fighting and sliding on stuff. Awesome team. They get Tequila, and Alan has the costume on. I was like, oh no, they got Tequila. But then it's revealed that
No fucking way this tricked you, Jason. There's no way this tricked you in any capacity.
it tricked you for a minute because it's a wide shot when they come into the room, and then it does a close up and it's clearly Alan.
You knew in your secret brain.
I think I knew in my secret heart, my second heart.
There was not a single shred of time where I thought that wasn't Alan in that cop costume.
I did. I honestly was like, oh man, because the way it's framed is like he comes into the room. They shoot it from over on the other side of the room. It's seconds before it's revealed, but I was like, oh, they're doing a thing where they're gonna like. But the thing is, I guess what you're saying is when it comes down to it, the three-way standoff was Goon police officer has a gun against Alan. Tequila has a gun against.
Yeah, so either you believe that they killed Alan off screen because you hear a gunshot.
I was so wrapped up in just this movie that I was just taken aback by it all. Anyway,
give him red hair, Photoshop red hair, and we can see if it's real. I compare
exactly. Perfect. Tequila shotgun blasts 3 guys at once. Also rad. They caught in the
not the
baby's
first time in this movie.
No, not at all. I witnessed a lot of crazy murder sequences in this. In fact, I want to like put this on my big TV and watch all of these things. Something that happens randomly through this show is I will download a movie and delete it immediately. But this is a movie I'm going to keep on my hard drive because I want to go back to the well and look at it more. They caught in the baby's
I'm gonna try
ears.
and figure out Tubi so then I can attempt to watch it like OG version.
Yeah, like the non-dubbed version.
Tubi is
'Cause
also
I'm curious
like
about
it's
that as
free.
well.
You don't even need an account to watch it. You can just
Yeah.
Tubi is
If you watch it on a browser, you don't even get the ads either. If you have a ad blocker.
Oh yeah, I could actually because I have an HBO. Okay, cool. Thanks, Steve.
mhm.
There you go. Yeah, so they caught in the baby's ears to help with the noise. The fucking SWAT team is now part of it. When they fucking blast through the windows, that was awesome. They come through. Fucking SWAT coming down from windows and shit was so awesome. M dash, it did an M dash on its own, like without. This is an AI.
They
Just
also
did an
really
M.
took to their job. Like they came in, they're like,
Yeah.
"What can we do to help?" And she was like, "Help me cotton these babies' ears." Much too late, but like,
Yeah.
thank you for trying now. And then they're making little ties. They're like jumping through windows with these babies. They don't really make it, but they tried.
There's more shooting. The boys are traveling up the building to go find Johnny. This baby evac is pure chaos, was a note that I wrote. More shootout. Alan accidentally kills a cop. This was the scene we were talking about earlier, where a guy comes around the corner, he shoots him, and then the movie goes into slow-mo for like 3 minutes where he's realizing what has happened. And this is that conversation where he's like, Tequila says it wasn't a cop and yells at him, you're hallucinating. And then, like, I wrote, I'm pretty sure Alan was right, though. And then Tequila also shot a cop back at the tea house. So they, like, pre-bond over that. Then Alan is like, did I shoot a cop? And then Tequila says, yeah.
No. Oh, yeah, he says yeah.
And then he says, fuck.
He goes,
Like,
God
yells
damn
at
it.
In
Yeah.
like a 30-second time span, it goes from like, no, like absolutely not, you're hallucinating.
You
you're crazy,
idiot,
and
there's
then,
no way you killed the
yeah,
cop
you
there.
absolutely did kill a cop.
Yeah.
He's like, I looked at his badge. He's a police officer. He's like, no, you didn't. You're hallucinating.
Also, I have
Anyway.
something very, very, very important that I need to show you guys.
Oh no. It's gonna be him. Wow, you were absolutely right. That is the same haircut.
Even kind of looks
Steven,
like
I don't
Asian
really know
Conan.
what pictures and knowledge you have in your brain to be like, this is the Conan haircut. It's in here.
It lives in my brain. There should be other useful information in my brain, but not much. It's mostly just
Like, who has
this
a Conan
and
haircut?
this.
Yeah. And Mark Twain doing this.
Yep, that lives in there for free. Don't even charge it rent.
Oh, we're coming for you.
Sorry, that's a fire truck.
They're coming for you. Your house is on fire. Mad Dog boss fight with a grenade launcher assault rifle situation. More shooting and chaos. Teresa gets slapped but has a gun, shoots the goon. We already talked about that. 1v1 Alan versus Mad Dog. The running side by side scene, as I talked about a little bit in the production talk. So Johnny, he's going to raise this whole fucking hospital with C4. Tequila goes back for the baby, and Teresa almost eats it climbing out the window. So she's climbing down. There's bullets flying everywhere. She almost dies in that little moment. And so there's one baby left that needs to get taken out of there.
That we know of.
That we know. This is what I was asking. Like, how many babies bought the farm on this endeavor? But he sings a little lullaby to the baby, calls him Willie Wing, which a little racist, gotta say, from like the probably American people doing the
I don't know.
voiceover. Why does he call him Willie Wing?
Because everybody in this movie has like an Americanized first name and a really Chinese last name. That's how it.
But it's
it's
also
everybody,
wild,
all the people that walk around North America named Tequila.
right? Earlier in the movie, when it's like, what was his name? Vodka? No, tequila. This
Tequila.
scene is insane.
This baby does have cotton swabs or cotton balls in his ear. He's protected.
Yeah.
From
But
the
this scene is insane because he kills a guy. You see the bullets enter and exit one of the people he kills. Blood splatters everywhere. Tequila says, "Don't look, X-rated action," and then blood splatters onto the baby's face, and he wipes
it
it.
off.
He-
Tequila
the baby.
also sort of gets shot while he's holding the baby. Like that baby,
Yeah.
too close to the gunfire for
Because
that.
there's that
cotton
weird
swab to
zoom
matter.
down where he's got the open wound on his chest.
Yeah. And he's just holding the baby while he's doing a lot of stuff. He's running, he's getting shot, he's shooting. I'm like, that baby, that their necks aren't formed yet. Like that baby
No.
is not comfortable.
He has no neck time.
It's
This
not
baby's just
great.
like, ah.
He's not supporting the head at all.
No.
Like
It's barely got it tied to his body.
at this point, I was
Um,
so fully into this movie, like still so fully into this movie. I like commend it so hard for doing a insanely long action crazy sequence and keeping it so captivating.
I mean, tonight's podcast has been. I wrote 4 pages, and I didn't even explain everything that happens during the action scenes. But we're
I
like
don't think
almost
we need
done.
to go into all of it. Yeah.
We're almost done. We're almost done, like ahead of time for like the normal amount of things that happen in it. This is a 2-hour movie, over 2 hours,
Yeah, it's a long
and
movie.
we're able to get through it because it's like, check out this funny. It's almost like trying to talk about a comedy, but it's like uninteresting to talk about a comedy in podcast format. It's very interesting to talk about how insane all of the things that we're witnessing, because the juxtaposition between Tequila just wanting to like do the right thing and everybody shooting missiles at him for 2 straight hours is great. Speaking of, Alan and Mad Dog round 2 happens. This is when they shoot the cloth. They shoot a cloth, the thing that you put up between like a gurney and like the rest of the people, so it
Like a
blocks it,
screen.
like a screen, and it bursts into flames. They end in a stalemate with so many hostages right between them. And then I think both of them kind of say, no, I think Mad Dog actually says, "Get these people out of here." And
Yeah, they
agree.
sort
Like,
of
hold
put their
on.
guns. Yeah, like they paused the whole fight so the people can leave.
Yep. Johnny shows up, but Mad Dog turns on him for killing all the hostages and possibly Alan. Alan
I
gets
did
away.
start to run into battle fatigue at this point, where like my brain was. I'm like, okay, all right, this action sequence has been going for 40 fucking minutes.
Yeah, it's literally the entire last hour of the movie. It's wild.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Tat was saying. Like, I when you were trying to explain this to me at the party last weekend, I was like, really?
I was
whole
trying to
hour?
do it as little as possible to not delve too much into it with you. I was just like, it's crazy. It's an
But you
hour.
were like, you were on the edge of your seat, and
Yeah.
then by the last half hour, you were cheering, and every time something would happen, you and Scott would like
Yeah. We were
erupt.
having
Crazy. Which I was too. I was watching it at my desk at work, going like, "Oh man, oh man."
fun. Oh, I know. My notes for the rest of the movie are as big as my notes for just the hospital scene. Like it is
Yeah.
a lot.
I specifically didn't write down every single thing that happened during these shootouts because we would still be on the first shootout. We would still be on that warehouse sequence. But Mad Dog shoots Johnny and gets blasted by the "say hello to my little friend" gun. I don't know what that gun's called. It's not a minigun, but
It
it's
looks like a little SMG, but I'm not sure.
SMG. Okay. Well, isn't an SMG like an Uzi?
Are
Yeah.
you talking about the one that Johnny shoots the guy with?
Yeah.
Mad Dog with? I think that's a shotgun, a type of shotgun.
The
No,
tiny
it's
little
like-
gun? It's like a really
it's the-
fast, tiny gun.
It's the gun from Scarface that has the like rocket launcher on the bottom,
Oh,
but
no,
on the
no,
top is
okay.
like a kind of like an automatic. Anyway,
I don't give a
Alan
shit.
survives. Alan survives and makes it to Tequila. Did you guys catch this kill where a guy gets shot? He spins around and goes headfirst through a bench. And when they show him at the end, he's got a piece of wood sticking through his fucking
Yes.
throat.
Yeah.
What?
There's-
Why would you
Yeah.
just? Why would you do that?
I think
Was
they
that
just have fun.
necessary?
I think they're
Yes.
having fun.
Yeah.
Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine?
Well, I've been in the woods for 14 seconds. C4 gets thrown down a chute into the armory. The C4 gets detonated, and the whole I don't know why I wrote hotel. I must have autocorrected, but the whole hospital goes up. Hotel goes sup is what it autocorrected to.
Talking about ghosts again. There's no ghosts in this movie, Jason.
So many ghosts.
Oh my god, I think we're at my literally second favorite part of this entire movie.
Tequila doing the Action Man run with the baby.
With the fire hose that doesn't actually catch his fall, like it never goes taut. He just lands.
Well, before that though, he's on fire.
It's
He
incredible.
runs to the window. He misses jumping out the window because he's on fire, and the baby urinates
On him.
and
yeah.
puts the fire out.
Absolutely
Then
incredible.
he jumps out the window with the wire, and the way it looked so cool and dumb but cool when he's jumping out the window. It's this like
Yeah.
slow action shot of him falling down to the ground and holding the wire up like this, and then he just lands perfectly on the ground.
And then
Yes.
he has the weirdest standoff of all.
Where he
movies.
slaps himself and calls himself impotent. Yes.
Then he tells him to take his pants off, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
no, maybe not that one.
Crazy Johnny comes out of the fire holding Alan at gunpoint and makes our lovely detective Inspector Tequila do a lot of really demeaning things to keep Alan alive. And everyone looks on just absolutely just aghast and embarrassed
What do
the
we
whole
do?
time.
Tells him to slap himself and say he's impotent, and then
That's when they said the name of the movie in the movie.
at 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 45 seconds, he says hard boiled. Hard boiled cop, you made it. That's what he says to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the best movie inside the movie title in the movie I think we've ever done. I didn't have to he sort of said it. He says hard boiled, so hard boiled. Johnny plays those mind games, tells him to take his pants off, and at that moment, Alan sacrifices himself by reaching up and taking the gun and putting it down to his gut, taking a bullet, revealing Johnny's head, and then, of course, we get a cool, remind me of the 80s, where you see a close-up of Johnny's head, clearly like a prosthetic head, gets shot in the head, which would be cool on its own, but as it gets shot and the head goes back, blood spurts out, and the sound design for the spurt was very good, in my opinion.
Shot in the eye. He gets shot in the eye so that he can come back and
Shot in
hard
the eye.
boiled too with an eye patch on.
But it's
Yeah.
also that it flashed back to that moment where he shot the tiny bullet in that pipe
Yeah.
situation. So he
Which
was
is
Yes.
why they had that whole thing happen, so that
for
we could
sure.
have this moment. But I mean, I feel like Tequila has shot his gun so many fucking times in this movie that we didn't really need the moment to prove that he's a crack
Yes,
shot
that he
because
can
we've
do
seen
it.
him. Yeah, we've seen him shoot enough stuff. But I do like the weird bullet in the pipe thing. It's just kind of weird and interesting. And I liked all the little lead up to it where he's using his handcuffs as a screwdriver and or a wrench, I guess.
Only time we saw the handcuffs this entire movie from a cop.
And he doesn't put them
Yeah.
on a person.
No.
To do a weird MacGyver kind of thing.
And the movie isn't over yet. All
No.
the babies get returned to the correct parents, we assume.
One
They
baby gets returned to some parents. They're
One
like,
parent was like, "That's mine." I think she saw an attractive-looking baby. She's like, "That's a cute baby. I'd
This
like
baby-
that one to be
This baby's
mine."
way better than my baby. I'm just gonna take this. Jason
Did you
thinks
guys
all
clock-
the babies died for some reason.
No, I don't think they all died. I was just
I know, but
what
you keep
the-
asking us how many we think died.
How many do you think they died?
And we
Well, there
keep
was
saying
one scene
none.
Where the
To be fair, they
one of the-
never showed a baby dying.
I know. Well, they're kind of.
No.
It wasn't.
Even the one that was being carried down by the guy who got
It's-
shot.
His head bounces
He's-
against.
they're not playing with soft spots in this movie.
Fair enough.
Even the one that got shot a whole bunch of times held that baby up like a fucking hero. Like I
know,
think that they
down.
knew. Yes, I think they knew the line was "babies can't die" in a movie, and people are okay with that.
Actually, ironically, the only baby that did die was the one that suffocated because it was inside the Kevlar vest that they were trying to protect it with.
She did put one in a Kevlar vest. And honestly, some of the choices with those babies, I was like, Teresa, you don't know what you're doing.
Did you watch the baby that had a full head of hair though?
Yeah.
Like a full,
some babies are born with a full head of hair / hairy body.
I had huge hair when I was a kid, but it had like a hairstyle. It kind of looked like the Conan goon.
Conan to be. You have to like mush them together now in one of those like computer things where it's like, what would our baby look like? And now we need to see the baby.
It just looks exactly like Johnny.
With red
It's
hair.
a suspicious baby.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I thought that Alan died. They burnt his file, and then Tequila got the boat. But you guys enlightened me, and Alan actually survives. He gets his boat back. He throws
There's a
all of the.
point-
Isn't it enlightening somebody to just tell them what actually happened in a movie?
I'm enlightened.
There is a point earlier in the movie where I think it's the inspector talking to him, saying that they have like, or someone talking to him saying they have like his whole thing ready in. I wish I knew what island it was, like another country. Like they have.
Hawaii?
Like, I don't think it was
Yeah.
Hawaii. Was it
Just
Hawaii?
somewhere. I didn't.
They
pay
had
attention to that.
they had somewhere all ready for him to go to once he was done here. So like in my head, I'm assuming that's what he kind of finally
That's
got,
what he
like his
sells, yeah.
retirement kind of thing.
Which is cool and nice, and he's finally free. And he's like,
It was a happier ending than I expected for the craziness of this movie.
Yeah.
and just like as I've said before, it's like a true noir would have Alan die, and we would be all sad about it, and all the lead up that and preamble that you believe is leading to his death, he would actually be killed. But I also like the fact that they're like, in a way, he is dead. His identity is being erased. Him as a character his like fake identity as an undercover person is dead. All intents and purposes of this reality, and so that he can sail away and be whoever the hell he wants now.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if he got to the island. He's like, my name's Tequila Yun or Vodka Yun.
Whiskey and
Well, that's the movie.
That's it.
Should
Yeah,
we go
we
into our
made it.
final thoughts?
Sure. I forget what it's called. Oh.
You had to
Yeah,
pick
it's-
one.
But what do you think the Home
when
Alone of it
is
all?
the Home Alone of it all?
Can someone please tell me when the Home Alone of
I
it all
really gotta
When's the Home
know.
Alone of
When
it all?
is the Home Alone of
What
it all?
is the Home Alone of it all?
Now that's the Home Alone of it all.
Well, we got to the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Tat. If you had forgotten what the Home Alone of the movie, the Home Alone of it all for the movie is, it's basically the idea that in the movie Home Alone, the part of the movie we're all there to see is when Kevin McAllister slaps down the blueprint and he starts setting up the horrible funhouse of nightmares for the Wet Bandits. The idea is sort of that like every movie has that part of the movie you're there to see. Okay. So, Tat, I'm going to have you go first. We need your
Yep.
Home Alone of it all, your final thoughts, and a rating. The rating can be out of whatever you want. So the floor is yours.
My Home Alone of it all will be controversial, and I think it purely comes from my now obsessive love with a particular character, but it is Mad Dog just like biting the pins out of like 3 or 2 grenades and holding them with the pins in his mouth. That's what I'm here to see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will not apologize for it.
You don't have to.
Final thoughts. I truly did not know what I kind of went into this movie with the same kind of headspace that I go into when we're watching like bad movies as like a friend group where we all put like bad movies in a hat and we choose one and we get to watch it. This was one that truly I don't think is a bad movie. Like I watched it. It was just so entertaining start to finish. Like it was, I think, difficult to get into at the beginning, but then as the movie continued, like I loved it, and it's something that I would watch again in the future. Again, like my attention span for movies is so bad now, and it just got me more into it as the movie went on. So I am very happy that I finally got to watch it. I enjoyed the movie, and I think as a final rating, I would give it a full like 4.5 babies out of 5.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I don't know if there's a rating I'm hearing.
Well, thank you, Tatiana. Always a great time having you here. I feel like through all of the times you've been here, you've gotten more like comfortable with it. And I can't wait for 2026 to have you back many, many times to talk about a bunch of nonsense. I appreciate your time here tonight. How about you, Steve?
My Home Alone of it all is when this guy shows up and then these guys show up. But no, my Home Alone of it all is when he fucking Mary Poppins down the railing and shoots the guy 17 times, and I'm like, this movie is maybe gonna rule. I haven't seen it in so long. I'm glad, because I can't remember all the details, but I do remember being blown away as a teenager, and then being sort of like a pedantic asshole film student, and then being like, I'm better than this John Woo. But no, this movie rules. I think that the action sequences alone they're filmed so interestingly, and they have a lot of character. The camera itself is a character, where like even just that like moment where the gas grenade goes off just before the two of them have their standoff. The way that is shot is the camera is pulling back, and it's going the same speed that the smoke is crawling across the warehouse. And it's just this like impressive feat of camera work, where it's like, they don't have to do that. They don't have to make it that interesting. It'll still be interesting to watch, but no, they're going to go a little bit further, and they're going to make everything beautifully shot for your benefit, just to like make everything interesting. 1,000 exploding phone books out of as many as you can shove in a warehouse, you know? That's my rating. All the exploding phone books on planet Earth.
Squibs.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great movie. And if anybody knows how many squibs were used in the filming of this movie, I want to know.
You deserve
That's
to.
incredible. Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with you guys. My Home Alone this week was like pretty much Mad Dog. Also, if it was like 1 point on in a similar way to like how the Home Alone thing goes, it's basically like the whole movie, like from the T bar on. Anytime that Chow Yun Fat is being tequila is also part of it. There was no, into my final thought, there was no real like slowdown for a 2-hour movie. It's very rare that a movie can keep you so engaged, because there were no lulls, and the lulls were actually used.
There were lots of LOLs. What are you talking about?
There were a lot of lulls, but not a lot of lulls. To like the movie keeps going at a pace that never makes you bored. There's no pacing issues. There's no slowdown. There's no like the action sequences specifically are. I was saying this to Steven. Some things I've seen in this movie I've never seen before in a movie, and so expertly shot and expertly resolved. Like, I really just love everything about this movie. My hoity-toity rating for this week, and I'll tell you why. It's 4.9 out of 5, and the only reason I even gave it any marks off, I actually gave it a 4.7, but I put it up to a 4.9 after this conversation. It's just because of some of the editing and some of the like slow motion, like antiquated slow motion, and some of the weird like ends of scenes into like another scene with the same character. Some of that stuff like didn't super work, but it's all, like Steve said, pedantic and kind of nitpicky. So it is a 5 out of 5, but I need to I need to temper expectations, so I'm going to give it a 4.9. You know, it's not 100% perfect, but it's goddamn close. I do actually
number ratings.
Right?
Just saying.
I took half a point off for the loss of hearing for those babies. So
Yeah, those babies are
only negative.
But I do give this movie 10 awesome, over the top, hard boiled shootouts and 2 exploding dirt bikes.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, Ike Eldon. Oh.
That's
Hey,
awesome. The Addiction is
Thanks,
my
Cody.
Scarecrow shirt from the Batman images that I did. That's pretty cool, buddy. Thanks for buying one. That's really nice.
Yeah, I appreciate
Also,
that.
I found an anecdotal funny thing where John Woo jokes all the time that, like, yeah, 90% of the budget that I spend on my movies is spent on squibs and blanks. Like, okay, funny. John Woo's
Well, I
funny.
had a question during the chaos of the hospital part when they're all outside. I was like, "How much did this movie cost?" And he did all of that for $4.5 million. Insane, even by the standard of that. It's only 10 million by like inflation. So incredible what he was able to do with that.
And we agree, like a full 4 million of that was the squibs.
Yeah.
Yes, $4 million worth of squibs,
And the
$5 million
motorcycles. And the rocket
worth
launcher.
of motorcycles and explosions.
This is my last question. Is the hospital a real hospital, Stephen? Or did
Oh, I don't think so. I think that was a set, but I
my final
didn't
question.
actually. I wasn't diving deep into the hospital stuff because I just want to know how many squibs were used in the tea house. I want to know why they had a bunch of birds with them. It was like the more questions I started to search for answers for, I would end up getting an answer that I wasn't expecting, and then I would go further in on that piece of information instead. And then I was like, I need to watch this movie. What am I doing? I'm not paying attention.
Why am I?
Someone just threw a
Why am I
chicken
going in
across
this
the screen.
rabbit hole? Well, with that, we should probably go into our plugs and then get the heck
All
out of
right,
here.
let me just plug this in right here and.
Oh my god, it's Alan. Alan, stop.
Well, Alan's dead. That's the true ending.
You can't kill Alan. Only he can do that.
Yeah. Tatiana, do you have anything you want to plug this week?
I don't have anything to plug. Happy holidays.
That's fair.
It's almost
And also
that
watch
time.
Hard Boiled. That's my last plug.
Mhm. Also, like Tatiana, you guys should check out more John Woo stuff because he's got lots of movies.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah,
And a
because
lot of them
honestly,
are just as crazy as this.
the two I've seen, which are Hard Boiled and Face Off,
Mhm.
incredible.
You'll probably like more of his stuff. This isn't even like his close to the beginning of his career either. He'd been making movies for like more than a decade at this point.
Okay, I will add it to the list. Not even add it to the list.
Just
We need
write
stuff to
John Woo
watch.
and on your fridge, your whiteboard.
Write it in blood. Steven, what do you got going on the back burner? In your
Hi,
life?
my name's Steven, and these are the things that I have going on the back burner. I am also known as Boba Blackfly, which is where you can find a lot of my illustration work, and my Redbubble pages where I sell t-shirts. Like Kelvin just said that he bought one of my Scarecrow shirts from the Batman series that I did a million years ago, and I appreciate that. But also, I am the voice of Darth Theorist and the Three-Eyed Theorist, where I narrate stories that take place in the Star Wars universe as well as the Game of Thrones universe, and I do all the character voices, and you can find both of those on YouTube. We just hit 60,000 subs on Star Wars, which is really cool, and we're about to hit 45 on the Game of Thrones. It's really exciting. So, go check those out if you like those things. It's not for everybody, but the people who love it, love it. So maybe you'll love it. Who knows? Also, Stanland. I am currently editing the final episode of the last planned miniseries, the spin-off miniseries of Stanland. Currently, that'll be airing on Tuesday, but we've got 5 of them out currently, and I am in every single episode. The first series, I play sort of a main character, and in this one, I play a whole bunch of varying characters, including a vampire who speaks like this, which is fun. It's like Count Chocula, basically. But yeah, check out Stanland. You can find it on pretty much anywhere podcasts are available. I think you have to sub to Apple or something to listen to the miniseries, but if you can check those out, I would appreciate it because they're really cool. And then I might have more stuff to talk about next week, but I'm not sure if I can mention it yet. So maybe next week I'll have more news.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. My name is Jason R. Phillips. I am the voice and announcer of Super Kicked Wrestling here in Toronto. I am sort of out of commission for the rest of the year, unfortunately, because I can't make the final show of the year in December. December 13th is Super Kicked 10, the 10-year anniversary of Super Kicked. The main event is Jax Williams versus Jesse V. That's all that's been announced so far. It's going to be okay because in January I will be back. They moved the show to the studio, Superkick Studios. So look up at Eventbrite to go to see that 10-year anniversary show. The studio is all set up now with a ring and great lights and an entrance ramp, and it's so cool. We did it for Zombie Wrestling this year. But outside of that, I'd like to let everybody know that this show, Hey, Did You See This One?, can be seen each and every week right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Twitch and YouTube specifically. You can find our shows over the weekend after we do our live show, which goes live every week at 8 p.m. Eastern, as I said. But we do have merchandise that you can buy on RedTube and nope.
Wrong one, Jason.
Redbubble.
You're going to send a bunch of people to the wrong website.
And TeePublic. You can get shirts like, Corporal Tunnel Syndrome, the villain from the fictional James Bond movie from our James Bond Big Book of British Bonds month. You can get the Howie Mandel Effect on a shirt if you want. It's a spooky shirt. It's freaky. You can also get the original Grimoire Familiar Killers t-shirt. All of these, of course, illustrated by Stephen Boba Blackfly Waters as you see him in person. This is going to change probably as we move away from at least 2 of these killers into the Eldritch Millennial, which you can get on a shirt. Speaking of the familiar killers, here's Kill-Aid. He's always blasting through doors and throwing people through windows. And the fan favorite of all times, Twinkerbell. So get that on a shirt and wear it proud and
I cannot find my Twinkerbell shirt. I think someone stole it.
Somebody stole it. Fan favorite.
To be fair, Steven, if I was able to steal a Twinkerbell shirt from you, I would have done it by now.
I wonder who it was.
That's incredible. It's not me. I'd like one.
You can
Maybe if I hit 10 episodes, can I get one at a discount?
Yeah, we'll give you one for coming on.
Do discount codes? I don't even know. I haven't looked into that.
That's fair. I'll look.
You just purchase it and give it to you at the next
That's true,
meeting of the minds. But this is the show for this week. We talked about Hard Boiled, and now our brains are all hard boiled after talking about a movie for 3 straight hours. But there is one question that needs to be asked each and every week. Tatiana, I think you know that question at this point. Could you ask it for us right now, please?
Hey, did you see this one?
Did you guys like it before when I gave you the recipe for making hard-boiled eggs?
Yes.
I think your recipe's wrong.
No,
that was my only comment. Is that it's not 8 minutes?
That's
what I read. It said between 7 and 8 minutes gives it the perfect tender flesh and creamy inside.
No. The only thing is I don't cook and I don't hard boil eggs. But I do remember doing them for Scott, and I think I was told 6 minutes.
Yeah, then you put them in an ice bath.
Yes, there we go. That's what I was told.
Jason, I can't believe you
fucked that up so horribly.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.
If you really want to get the full benefits of this, if you can get your feet on your hands like this, and stand right on your hands. Look at this! Look at this!